Oi, oi, dickheads! It's me! Back in my proper room. Look, it's me. My face in the room with the flag. How are we all? I'm very well. Kristi, how you getting on?
I'm doing all right. You're peaking, though. You should turn your volume down on your mic a little
Kristi,
bit.
I am peak, as it is. Well, I think it's because
Always.
I've got a proper setup now. I don't need the microphone near
Mm-hmm.
me. That's right in the
Right.
crisp
That could
zone.
be
It's about
it.
2 feet from my fucking face now, which is ridiculous. Usually I have to have it there, right, like the fucking
Yeah.
alien. Anyway.
Yeah, but good now you don't. You can just shout across the room as opposed to right
Indeed.
down the mic.
And I've got a line hooked up to the thing, so internet speed test.
Look at you go.
Look at it.
100.
These are numbers.
102.
I don't know what they
103,
signify.
4.
All I know
It's
is it's
fast.
badass. Okay.
That's even faster than your downstairs one, I think.
I don't know. I think it might have just
Yeah,
dropped ever
7,
so
8.
slightly. It's going through 15 meters of wire now, rather than like
Yeah.
7 feet or whatever. Look at that. Very fast. Eat my fucking asshole. Anyway, so quality, upbeat start to the show. I think we can all agree. How are we all?
Always. As all you mean me or you and me?
Well, I'm not talking to the fucking crowd. Jesus.
I'm not talking to the chat. How,
No.
Oh yeah, what is it's today's Tuesday, right? Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know. I just have
Yeah.
days that I work and days that I don't work.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday crowd. It's not our A team, is it?
Well, my goodness gracious, what a crazy just an unbelievable weekend again. There's more COVID positive tests coming out. I don't know if you saw that in the
Cunt's
last
not
5
dead
minutes.
yet, is he? The fuck's going on?
Well, it's only been a couple days. Usually, it took Herman Cain like 28 days. So, there's time yet. He's not out of the woods. He's hardly out of the woods. And he's gasping for breath as well.
Yes. Yeah, did you see that clip of him going mental?
Oh, I actually downloaded it because he's coughing in it as well.
Yeah.
He just tries to cough with his mouth closed and his cheeks puff out.
I was going to do, by the way, you've just revealed who you are, Rory Katz. Never mind. It's in the chat. But hello, I love you dearly. Anyway, he's breathing in and out. I'm sure I've got it bookmarked or Kristi has or something. Anyway, and I was going to do a sarky little shitpost of putting the sound of Darth Vader breathing over the top of like, the image of him.
Yeah.
Then I looked like, he is literally on drugs, of course, because he's doped up to fuck on God knows what, having fucking.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's roided.
Yeah.
He is roided out right now.
Yeah.
He thinks he's Superman.
Yeah, which is I can't wait for the come down.
Oh, he's gonna crash hard.
Yeah.
He's gonna crash hard.
All I'll say is heroin overdoses aren't always bad, Donald. Just saying.
Well,
bro.
yeah, he's a walking lab experiment because no one's ever had the combination of drugs that he's been given in this order. Because he basically bullied medical staff, like, give me everything.
He's a young, fit, speak up, Kev, the balance is out. Well, hang on, so now I'm not speaking loud enough.
No, you got to be in the yellow. I don't know. It looked like you were peeking before.
It's right there, look. Right in the yellow, absolutely splash.
Well, give the people what they want. I know, I can see it. Yeah,
I'll turn myself up slightly, that's all you're getting there. Anyway, but he looked like he was having like a bad trip and trying to act like super cool on the outside. Like he was absolutely fucking losing his shit on the inside, but going, no, calm down, your friends are here. Just fucking relax. Done. Relax, mate, relax. It's all good. It'll pass. So yeah, he was having a bad one. He'd had some fucking funky shrooms and was not enjoying the experience.
Yeah, you could tell he can't stand being in hospitals, and he was just like, he bullied his way out of there by releasing himself against doctor's orders.
Well, there were a couple of beautiful things. Apparently, he was repeatedly asking whether he was going to die. To which the doctors presumably went, I can't tell the future, you daft cunt. We're going to try and keep you alive, but who knows? You're 70 million years old. Chill.
Mm-hmm.
And also, they literally did the thing they do to get children to go to sleep. He wanted to go out desperately, but they wouldn't let him leave, so they put him in the back of a car and drove around until he fell asleep.
Well, that is a very good joke. I am laughing. But all of the Secret Service agents who were in that car have to quarantine now. They weren't even wearing proper
14
masks.
innocent human beings trying to save his life, And he's just like, "Nah, I'm going to cough all over you so I can wave at some cunts."
Yeah, because those vehicles are not only like bulletproof, they're hermetically sealed against a gas attack, which means all his COVID was just freaking circulating around in that vehicle he was in.
Yeah, well, actually, on that point, I'll find it. If you just keep talking for a second, someone added me to an awesome Trump COVID meme group on Facebook.
Oh, really?
So I'll get those up.
And another one that, well, I think I have it, but the Lincoln Project trolled him so badly the other day, or just yesterday, I guess. I think time has no meaning anymore. But it was absolutely hilarious and so perfect. But yeah, let's see some of these memes.
Oh, hang on.
You ready to share with the peoples yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tabulation. There we go.
Are you, is the screen showing, are you covering up part of your screen? Oh, no, it's okay.
No,
you just have kind of a blank third and then a third and then the chat.
Yeah, that's just because it's Facebook. On Twitter, that's got like things on it.
Anyway. God, you're so gassy. Stop drinking fuzzy drinks, fizzy drinks or fizzy drinks.
Don't tell me what to do, okay? I'm sure just because you're incredibly
classy.
Well, yeah, classy.
Polite.
Yeah. just vaguely like acceptable in polite company.
Right.
I quite like this one. Driving Miss Crazy.
Yep. Nice a sequel to the Rose Garden Massacre.
Yeah. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Nice. This one's just the thing of which I retweeted out saying "Enjoy COVID, bitch."
Yeah. Yeah. She's COVID positive, right? Yeah. She's not even just quarantining.
Yeah. I quite like this one. It's please note, don't break the window. The AC is on. He has water and is listening to his favourite music. It's quite nice. That one was just someone swearing at him. Okay, as you do. What room is the president in? Okay.
Nurse Ratched, is that?
Yeah, but with Hillary Clinton's face.
Right.
Yeah. There's another one that I quite like. Yeah. Something positive will happen to you. Woo! COVID positive. So I quite like that. That was fun for me.
Yeah. Oh, there was all kind of nonsense propaganda coming out of the White House.
Yeah, lies upon lies. Everything was a lie. He was admitted 48 hours. No, it was 72 hours. And then, no, they've only had records for 48 hours. It just every aspect of everything they ever say is a lie.
Yeah, everything's a lie.
It's like it's impossible for them to tell the truth.
It hurts for them to tell the truth, so they constantly have to lie. What am I looking at?
That is a flock of baby giraffes.
I've never seen a flock of baby giraffes before.
Well, there you go.
Why are there so many of them?
They're probably not called a flock of baby giraffes, but there are some baby
giraffes.
Ask
Tony in the chat. Tony will probably know.
Yeah, Tony probably will know. Why don't you go and fucking marry him? Jesus.
So, a litter, someone says. So on your OBS thing, are you in the third where the what's happening is now on the screen? It's a little bit cut off, but it's not too bad.
Oh, hang on. Well, I can just move it across.
Yeah, perfect. That's better. Yeah, that works a lot better. Now it's centered. Nicely done.
Thank you. I'm getting almost passable at this internet lark.
Well, you do it 5 nights a week. You're going to get a little bit better.
Well, you say that, but my masturbation hasn't improved.
Well, you just, you find something that works and then you just go with it. That is very cute. Love it.
Well, I was just having that on whilst we were waiting. Should we dig in?
Yeah. Let's talk about Trump's inability to breathe or think. But yeah, I was listening to Morning Joe this morning because that's, like about noon is when I turned that on because it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the U.S. time. And it was basically them yelling at Trump. So, it's the roids talking. Yeah, right now the roids are telling you that you're invincible, but you really need to not listen to the roids. We know you're roided out.
They're going to have to talk him down off the fucking roof in 48 hours when he wears off. They're going to have to pop a Valium up his arsehole for the come down or something.
Yeah.
It's just mad.
He is just off his rocker.
Did you see the string of fucking nonsense tweets he was putting out in all caps?
Earlier today?
No, yesterday. I did a mockery of it, and they were all like, hang on, I'll go on to my...
It's like Law and Order and...
Yeah. So I was putting out some silly ones as like a replacement for it, because I thought mine will make just as much sense. Where are they?
Feeling great. There we go. Yeah, I saw it. Feeling great was one of them.
Where are I don't half retweet a lot of old shit. It's alright.
I know what you mean. I don't realize how much I'm on Twitter until I have to go find something.
There we go. So Stamp collecting is sexy. Vote. John Johnson did nothing wrong, but that's a history joke. That was the name.
John Johnson.
That was the name Guy Fawkes gave when he was arrested. You're welcome.
Oh. All right.
Hunchback Electro Freakout. Vote. Tax cuts for donkeys. When your eyes close, does the world disappear? Vote.
I like the one typing with your feet. Manky Con.
Manky Swans, can he read? Vote. And I quite like the one that got most play was Badgers aren't real. Vote. Okay.
Yeah, he is definitely seriously mentally diminished. His capacity.
He was already fucking unable to complete a sentence without saying Yosemite or some nonsense. Like he doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing. And now he's roided off his tits. He's like, oh fucking hell, like that Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns goes for his drug thing and stumbles out into the forest. Anyway, he's like that. He's old and on drugs.
Tripping balls.
Yeah.
Right. He's old and on drugs.
He's absolutely nutted off his mush, as they'd say. Nowhere. Anyway.
Your house.
Yeah, in my house. Yeah. Well, I don't know what they'd be saying in my house. I don't invite people into my house.
Yeah, so one person in your house.
The only person I like in my house.
All right. Yeah, so, I mean, what can you say? The leader of the free world should really be, we should invoke the 25th Amendment.
Yeah.
Pence should at least not be campaigning. He should be in D.C. Because now the joint, so go to, please go to news or search or whatever. Like the latest, everybody except one of the Joint Chiefs is quarantining now. Like most of the, I guess you're not doing.
No, well, I'm on the UK one. So
yeah, but if you type COVID positive.
COVID positive.
Yeah. Because another
military valet tests positive. Fucking hell. He's done a better job of fucking neutralising the upper echelons of the American military than the USSR could have dreamt of.
Oh, yeah. We're totally vulnerable right now.
Why didn't Brezhnev just cough on him? It would have been over. Jesus. Anyway,
right.
The US
this one.
official confirms that all the members of the Joint Chiefs of Staff are quarantining at home after a positive test for Admiral Ray. I don't know what his surname is.
Yeah, the Coast Guard dude.
Well, I was doing a joke about as if that was his first name. Like, he's just Admiral Ray. It's not good.
Yeah.
The Vice Commandant of the US Coast Guard.
This is why he's just tanking with seniors.
Well, I mean,
Trump.
Luckily, no one wants to invade. But if they did, now would be the time.
Yeah, at this point, it's safer to stay away from America than to invade.
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. That's it. The Chinese are playing the long game. The Chinese saw Trump coming and went, let's not bother. We don't even need to fight this shit. They'll kill themselves. Alex, I mean, it's the old Lincoln quote about what is it? None of the great European superpowers could by force take a drink from the Ohio River. If we die, it must be by suicide.
Oh, I didn't know that one, but yeah, that's true and prophetic.
He was speaking before he even became president about the potential for civil war, because obviously that didn't just happen. Like, people could see it coming. And Trump is the living embodiment of death by suicide.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's just, I can't wait till he's gone. I just can't wait. Did you see that they're selling in the White House gift shop commemorative Trump beat COVID coins?
I'm going to give you another history quote now, because it comes to my head. Julius Caesar, killed on the Ides of March, right, the 15th of March. He was supposedly, and again, this is probably apocryphal, but it's in the official history, so who knows. A soothsayer came to him about 3 months before and said, "Beware the Ides of March," the famous phrase.
Yes.
And then he saw her on the walk to the building where he was eventually killed, and he said, "Ha ha, the Ides have come." And she said to him, "The Ides have come, but the Ides have not gone."
Yep. Yeah.
So
COVID is here.
It's
not gone.
You're literally you haven't even had a negative test.
He's still gasping for breath.
COVID.
Yes.
Look,
he's spewing COVID.
But I mean, considering there's going to be no one within a 10-block radius of him that isn't in quarantine, he won't be able to go anywhere. The entirety of Washington DC is going to be dead.
the doctors that were out there spinning for him in front of Walter Reed said
sorry, go on.
His lung test was as expected. And another doctor said, well, what does that mean? Like, if he's got COVID, I'd expect his lungs to look like he has pneumonia. So why don't you just say his lungs look like he has pneumonia? Because they can't say that. They can't say anything that would indicate that he was the least bit ill.
Yeah. Even though you can see him wheezing like a twat.
Yep.
And it's all of it's shit. It's like, we got the best medical professionals in the world. No, you have, at the American taxpayer's expense.
Mm-hmm.
Most people have not.
But he's taken an experimental drug, which he got on compassionate grounds, which isn't even a ground. Like, being president isn't compassionate grounds, right? He's on these roids and he's on some other stuff, but like, nobody has been on these combination of drugs in that order, as I said at the top of the show. He is a walking science experiment. If he crashes in 4 weeks, we'll learn something.
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't take that long. Just saying.
But I was going to say, on the Trump beat COVID commemorative coins, if he dies of COVID, I'm going to buy one of those.
Yeah.
I'm going to find one online.
That'll be the equivalent of the Dewey beats Truman.
Yeah, exactly.
In coin form. And then what we can do is, they Donald Trump Jr. tweeted out the gif of him doing the wrestling, but with the COVID over the guy's face as he slams him.
Yeah.
We can just reverse the faces.
Yes. And then send it to him.
Yeah.
Hey, remember you said this? Your dad's dead.
Yeah. Your dad's dead. Ha ha
ha. Normally I wouldn't say that to anybody.
I'll just tweet home, you know that man that raped your mom? Yeah. He's dead. That's true. People seem to forget that.
Yeah, that was in the original court proceedings.
If someone raped my mum, I don't think I'd be that supportive of him, to be honest.
Well, he doesn't have a soul. Yeah. So, I mean, not that anyone has a soul in particular, because it doesn't exist. But, in sort of like the humanity, paraphrase.
Well, or small manatees. Got no problem with the baby manatees. But yeah, Walter Reed Hospital, 150
manatees,
years.
Penguins?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've got this. Are they mammals? I don't even know. The aquatic mammals, I've got an issue. No, but they're birds, aren't they, penguins? I don't know. I'm not a zoologist. I'm sorry.
I guess birds don't have to fly, do they? They just need feathers and a beak.
Technically, they do fly. They just fly through
feet.
The water. It's exactly the same mechanics.
I think they call that swimming.
It's the same mechanics. It's the same process.
Well, then I fly through water too.
Well, no, you don't. You can't swim properly, can you?
Well, wait. There's not some sort of normative swimming metric that exists independent of the human construction.
All right, Kristi, what I'll do then, I'll set up you versus a fucking penguin. We'll see who wins.
I didn't say I had to be as good as a penguin. I'm just saying, if your premise is, if a penguin can use its arms underwater, that's the equivalent of flying, then so fucking feet. Can I.
It's tiny little feet. Anyway, I was just going to say, Walter Reed Hospital, 150 years of excellent medical care, one of the most well-respected medical establishments in the world, ruined.
Destroyed. Gone.
Everything Trump touches turns to absolute shit.
Yep.
Here's the reverse or opposite Midas touch.
It took him 3 days. 3 days to destroy an entire institution's reputation.
Yeah, because I don't trust a fucking word any of the cunts say, no?
No. And oh my God, I couldn't even believe the fucking presidential suite. I mean, I'm sorry, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Is that room just sit empty all the time? I mean, those could be beds that could be used by veterans, you know? And we hear lots about the lack of service, the lack of timely appointments, treatments, all this kind of bullshit. And yet they've got a 4-room suite just in case the president has to... Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. He can stay in one room, by himself with Secret Service. But he doesn't need a TV and a dining room and a fucking work area and a hospital bed. No.
Yeah, if the president goes to hospital, maybe have him stop work.
Yes.
Then he can just have a hospital bed, which I've got no problem with the president having a hospital bed. But the vice president can do the president job for a bit.
Yes.
That's literally the point of having one.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, the vice president does little else.
Yeah,
except stay alive.
He's literally just waiting there in case to dive in. He's basically thinking, I'm on the subs bench unless someone Kennedy's him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or he needs a colonoscopy like George Bush Sr.
Or someone Reagan's him, but he survives.
It's,
But
it,
you get a little 10-minute in, you get out, you go. Good stuff.
it's just I've mentioned this years leading up to as Trump was just pushing boundaries, and I've said, we're going to look back and we're not going to know where the line was when we crossed over from like a legitimate democracy into a fascist propagandist sort of joke. Because we're there now. I mean, we are fully inside sort of authoritarian, propaganda-driven, strongman government like Bolsonaro.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, he literally, those staged photo ops where he clearly wasn't working, they even had the timings of them. They were 10 minutes apart. He wasn't reading or signing anything. They were blank pieces of paper.
Oh, he was signing, yes, they were signing blank, he was signing blank pieces of paper.
Now, did you see? This is genuinely true. That's what they did to his dad when he went senile.
Oh, yeah, they would get, I did read, it's the Vanity Fair article?
Yeah,
is that where you saw it too?
Yeah, before Trump's dad died, he was like the head of
really bad Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's, sorry, yeah. And so, but he still wanted to be like president of the company. So they'd just have him go into one of the conference rooms and sit there signing nonsense documents that didn't mean anything. And he had a phone line, but it only went out to his secretary, and she'd just listen to him ramble, and then he'd sort of go away and do something else. He was just off his rocker. Sort of but the difference is...
It was like daycare for dad.
They actually
grandpa.
had someone running the actual business.
Yes, behind the scenes. Whereas, behind would, yeah.
Whereas this is the most powerful, rich country the world has ever known. That's rudderless.
Yeah. I mean, North Korea could be just doing whatever it wants right now. Fucking no one's going to be there to
Well, did you see the North Korean
them.
Twitter account absolutely burning him?
No.
Yeah, the North Korean Twitter account was rocking him about being high on steroids.
Well, he is. Clearly.
Well, no, absolutely. They're right. It's one of the few occasions in which I can say, you know what, North Korea, you bang on this one. Nicely done. Even if you could stop the camps full of, innocent people and stuff, that would be cool. That would be awesome, but,
Yeah, I mean, talk about a shit authoritarian government. But I do have to say that other than the perfunctory... Really well? Yeah, Kim Jong-un. Whatever. Sorry, they like the father, son, grandfather. It's just all.
Yeah, but, royalty can be difficult to tell apart. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Henry VII, Henry VIII, Henry V, Henry VI. Actually, I know all of those I watched a lot of the documentaries, so those I know quite well. But the Richards, I can't always remember what Richard II was about. But what I was going to say is, other than like the perfunctory well wishes that came from actual democracies run by grown-ups, I haven't seen like a whole outpouring of sympathy for Trump or a lot of concern for him. My God, 3 out of 4 respondents to surveys basically said Trump didn't handle this and he's kind of getting what he deserves.
Hoist by his own petard. Or, to bring back North Korea there, hoist by his own dotard.
Is quietly a word? Or did I just make that up?
Quietly?
Quietly.
It's a Trumpism. Like Bigley. Yeah, it's when Trump wants to seem posh when he met the Queen or something. Oh yes, quietly. And went away thinking, yeah, I impressed her with my big brain. And she's like, oh fuck's sake. Like, I had to deal with that George W. Bush cunt. And I thought that was the worst you were going to send me, America. Now I have to sit there pretending to be nice to this fucking wanker. Get him out of my fucking house! But in a posh accent. I can't do her voice.
But in a posh accent. But in a posh accent.
The exact words. She undoubtedly called him a cunt many times. No doubt about it. You couldn't be Trump and not do it.
Oh, he's terrible.
Yeah.
He's awful.
Has anyone ever met him that was themselves not an evil prick who didn't hate him?
Sorry, can you rephrase the question?
Right. Other than people who are real pricks.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Did a nice person ever meet him and get on with him?
I think he is see, this is the thing about like sociopaths, is that they can be quite charming because they want to manipulate you into giving them something from you. They want you to get something out of you. And so I'm sure in business and things before, he could turn on the charm if you took him in small doses. But it's like with the debates, people got 90 minutes of unfiltered Trump. And Joe Biden is now leading by in some polls 14 and 16 points nationally. That is getting into like landslide territory. Yeah. It's a state by state thing, but
14 and 16 are numbers that Trump likes in his sexual partners.
Wow, you're going there.
Yeah, but it's true. He's a fucking nonce. I mean, He was friends with Epstein. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
Apparently the White House reportedly declined
I'm just
an
like,
offer from
we're
the
going
CD
all over the place tonight.
the CDC to help identify people who may have been exposed to White House staffers who tested positive. So basically, look, I mean, I do the joke that everyone in downtown Washington DC is going to die. That might happen. Who knows?
Well, at least the Republicans who went to that event.
Well, no, because unfortunately,
within their
Republicans
circles
will go to a nearby deli, perhaps, for a sandwich.
Yeah.
And then all those poor fuckers get it, and then they take it back to their kids who get it and go to the school, and every fucker gets it. Viral diseases are horrible, which is why you should wear a mask, you orange prick.
Yes.
Did you see
the Cheeto Mussolini?
You literally
Can I get a word in?
Got it!
The Bedminster fundraiser that he did, people in New Jersey, the health commissions are trying to track down the attendees. And the Trump campaign sent them the names and the emails. And that was it. Now, I know from working on campaigns and also from donating that you have to include your employer's information. They have that information. They could just give over the employer information for everyone who gave money at that event. And they're not. I quietly agree. Thank you, Lace. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, pardon me. Anyway, should we get through some whatchamacallits and then see?
No, I can't hear you either.
Really?
Yeah, now you're far away or something.
Am I? Oh, good lord. What's... Hello?
Did you knock your mic in some way?
Hello?
That's a little bit better.
What's going on there?
Yeah, I can. It's definitely lower.
Okay.
Violent, sexy dancing.
What's it?
You might want to turn down the sound before you start futzing with it. Oh, now it sounds. I think you're going to be louder, so you might want to turn it down before you speak.
Now. Sorry. Okay, it's a new setup, people. Come on, behave yourselves.
No, you're really soft again.
Am I? Why? No, that's it. Look at it. Look, it's right in the yellow.
Yeah, but you're at max. You should be in the red, and at that point, that's where you were before. You were peaking.
Hang on, 1 second.
Oh well, your voice carries.
Ooh.
Try reconnecting it on OBS in the properties.
Properties. I don't know why I'm doing weird voice. Hang on. I think that's the one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's better.
Hello. Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Yeah. Okay. We're back. I don't know. I literally don't know what happened. I didn't touch a damn thing. It just went mental. Anyway. So anyway, should we get through some bookmarks and then maybe we might get onto the Carl video for a bit?
Yep. Although I really want to show you that Lincoln Project troll.
Yeah. Well, I'll do my bookmarks. You do your bookmarks, and then if we can be bothered, we'll do Sargon. But he seemed talking about critical race theory, and he's an idiot. I'm tired of talking about Trump, so we'll do minimal bookmarks on my side, and then. I quite like this. Prometheus stealing fire was the original hot take. That's a quality mythology joke.
Yeah. That's an ancient literature joke. That's very good for those nerds in the chat.
This Trump supporter decided to pick on a Black Lives Matter dude. Didn't work for him.
Not me.
Oh, I think I've seen this one.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
But if the Trump guy started it, the black guy was trying to back off. He came after him, and now he's in the gutter.
Got knocked the fuck out.
He's literally lying in the gutter like the piece of trash he is. Anyway.
Oh, speaking of trash, CRP, sorry, keeps like dropping random shit like, oh my gosh, someone got mailed 4 ballots. I'm like, you know what? I get mailed ballots in Germany. I can't vote. You know what I do? I don't send them back because I'm not eligible. It's not fraud to send out ballots. It's fraud when you vote and you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the fact that I send them back in every state that they're coming from, that's fine. Because I'm not American, so I'm allowed to break the electoral laws. It doesn't apply to me. I can vote in all the states. That's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this was weird. Right. Pure Gym, as the name would suggest, is a brand of like gymnasia.
Yeah.
In the UK, and they put out this is quite something. Quote,
what?
This is a post they put on their Facebook page, entitled "12 Years of Slave." After the epic movie, This is our workout of the month, designed by whoever the fuck this twat is, to celebrate Black History Month. Slavery was hard. This is the greatest sentence you'll ever read.
Jesus,
Slavery was
my
hard.
slap hand. My slap hand is tingling.
Slavery was hard, and so is this.
I can't even believe that. What fucking white person wrote this? What fucking white person wrote this?
Fuck's sake.
Fucking cracker ass cracker.
The twists to this one, imagine this, comparing this to slavery. The twist is that one rep of your first exercise, 2 of the second, and before you move on to your third exercise will also be 3 reps, and you must start at the beginning to move on, and that's how the entire workout goes.
Oh, you want to make it a bit more realistic? Pure gyms. How about this? How about you have your customers come in, you strip off their shirts, then you whip their backs until they bleed, then you stick them in a hot box in the sauna for a half an hour. Or a day.
Or just don't name things after crimes at all.
Fucking white people, I swear to God.
Yeah. Anyway, they got dragged, so that's. I mean, I don't think they're going to go ahead with this particular promotion.
No.
They might.
Jesus.
That's quite
honestly.
Yeah.
And then people wonder why we need the 1619 project.
No, what we need is the 1776 project. Epic.
Yeah, Trump's having the 1918 project.
Oh, nice. That's a quality burn. I hadn't heard that one. I was thinking, what, the end of the First World War? What? What kind of weird joke? Oh, Spanish flu. Right, good. Anyway, yeah, so she got, this fucking horrible twat got the COVID, and here she was, after she'd gotten a positive result, talking to the press without a mask on.
I swear, people should be able to sue for dumbass shit like this.
Well, if you purposefully know you've got, like, AIDS, and you have unprotected sex with someone without informing them of that, that's a crime. How is this any different?
When I'm sick and I go into the office, I tell people to stay away from me, and I don't touch doorknobs because I'm not an asshole.
Yeah. No. Loch Ness monster spotted.
Very cute. Right, I approve.
Mummy capybara, full baby capybara.
Very sweet.
Capybara.
Very sweet.
I don't know what the plural of capybara is.
Barum.
Probably. Yeah. Sean Spicer, former press secretary, also an idiot, said,
"Yep.
It's one thing to report an additional staffer in the White House has tested positive, but revealing their names seems to be a violation of HIPAA." And this is Representative Donna Shalala, amazing surname, saying that's
Shalala, actually, but
okay, all right.
Well, she was chancellor at Madison before she became the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
Oh, she's Canadian. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's not how HIPAA works. I should know. I wrote it.
Dumb motherfucker.
Indeed. Oh, this is delicious. We'll take a little bit more of a look at this one.
Okay.
Lawrence Fox, the right-wing twat, we've talked about him before. He's being sued for defamation after calling Stonewall trustee a pedophile during Sainsbury's rant. That won't make a lot of sense to Americans. We'll read on. Stonewall UK, which is the leading LGBT rights organisation here in the UK. Named, of course, after the famous Stonewall riots and all of that. Stonewall UK Deputy Chairman Simon Blake has announced that he is suing Lawrence Fox after the actor called him a pedophile during a bizarre rant about Sainsbury's, which is a chain of supermarkets. This is a great bit of shade. Former actor and aspiring politician Lawrence Fox, because he's not getting any work anymore.
Unemployed.
Yeah, unemployed and unemployable.
Yeah.
Former actor and aspiring politician Lawrence Fox took to Twitter Sunday, the 4th of October, to fire a furious series of tweets about Sainsbury's celebrating Black History Month. The supermarket announced it was proud to celebrate the event and that customers who were offended by an inclusive retailer were, quote, welcome to shop elsewhere, unquote.
Yep.
Fox took to the supermarket's offer, responding, quote, I won't be shopping in your supermarket ever again while you promote racial segregation.
What?
And discrimination. I sincerely hope others join me, unquote.
Wait, so he thinks that embracing ethnic diversity is racial segregation? No. He's wrong. It's racists segregation. They're segregating out the fucking racists like you, Lawrence.
Yeah, basically, yes. Yeah. I mean, the fact that they've got like white people and black people working in the same store together would suggest they're not for racial segregation, Lawrence. I mean, Call me crazy, but I don't think
Yeah.
that's how segregation works, you dopey bastard.
No.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
go on.
also some good news there on the Brian, which of the Hagees is COVID positive as well?
The
The homophobic pastor? John
Hagee.
Hagee. Yeah, he tested COVID for the Rona.
He did. Indeed, he did.
And he's 80, so
Yeah, so we'll
very
leave,
dangerous for him.
For terms of service reasons, we'll leave that there. But I think you know where our minds are at.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, comments flooded in accusing...
He might recover.
He might do, but, fingers crossed. If only the Catholic altar boy in my youth could see me now. I'd punch him in his stupid little face, the cunt. Anyway. Comments flooded in accusing the actor of racism, and Simon Blake, the CEO of Mental Health First Aid England, and Deputy Chair of Stonewall UK, replied to Lawrence Fox's tweet saying, quote, "What a mess, what a racist twat," end quote. And tell me where the lie is there.
No lies detected.
None.
Nope.
He replied to Blake with pretty rich coming from a pedophile. Now, there's no evidence that Blake has ever engaged in that, let alone the obvious homophobic implication that the linking of homosexuals to pedophilia, which is a disgusting, ancient old right-wing trope, which he engaged in here as well, by the way, because there were 3 all LGBT folk who he accused of being pedophiles in this particular horrible rant, and then clearly someone's lawyer got in touch because he then responded with... Having said that, I have deleted the tweets posted yesterday in response to being repeatedly, continuously and falsely smeared as a racist, as they just serve to distract to the important work that needs to be done.
But you are a racist. We've seen it.
Yeah. And you can't just go around blithely accusing people of very, very serious crimes, Lawrence.
Exactly. Being a racist is morally egregious, but it's not a crime. You're accusing somebody of, an egregious crime.
Now, Blake has announced that he will be suing Fox for defamation. In a statement on the 5th of May, he said, on Sunday afternoon, I saw a tweet from Lawrence Fox suggesting that he would stop shopping at Sainsbury's and calling others to do the same. This was his reaction to Sainsbury's statement that they are an inclusive retailer. He suggested Sainsbury's actively anti-racist stance is promoting racial segregation and discrimination.
Which is stupid.
Indeed. I disagree strongly with his view and expressed that in a tweet. While I regret the unnecessary language I used, don't regret that. He's absolutely correct. Which is not in line with the way I like to conduct myself. I feel strongly about this. In response to Mr. Fox's seriously defamed me, and I've instructed Mark Lewis from Patent Law to sue for defamation.
So now he's unemployed and being sued.
Indeed. Blake added, I want to make it absolutely clear that I will always stand against racism and will do my best to be a strong white ally. This is particularly important because we know the negative impact that racism and oppression have on mental health and well-being and black people and people of colour.
Yep.
So,
good
lad. Anyway, so that's...
Hope you win.
Yeah. Well, unlike in America where you can just claim it was a generic insult...
Yeah.
In Britain, we actually have laws that mean something.
Where
if you accuse people of very serious crimes without any evidence that they've committed those crimes,
there are consequences for that reckless speech.
Indeed. This is when the Trump campaign is cancelling ads in the... Oh, it's just a state he doesn't need to win, like Ohio.
It's just vowels.
Just Ohio, exactly.
Just Ohio.
What's the point? I mean, Iowa, it doesn't quite fit, but in Ohio, A, you can't use proper nouns for Scrabble, and B, if you could, Ohio wouldn't score you many points. So what's the point there? Like Idaho, pointless. What you need is Arizona.
Scrabble? There you go. Get the Z in there.
You get that on a triple word score, you're in business. Anyway. But yeah, so Trump's fucked. Anyway, this is... Oh, fucking swings and roundabouts here. Content warning for talk of pederasty. The C of E, Church of England, the Protestant denomination here in the UK, failed to protect children from abusers.
Seems like a problem with churches. They're more interested in covering their own hides than protecting kids.
What I want to know is A, when are people going to prison for this obvious fucking evil? And B, where's Tommy Robinson at?
Yeah.
Where you at, lad? You're all about trying to stop the child rape, aren't you? Or is it okay when it's white Christians doing it?
I learned about baby farms watching a true crime story in
What are
baby farms in England.
I'm sure they're
This
more
is
horrific
fucking
than
awful.
I imagine, but
Oh, yeah.
I mean, before you do the horrific thing, whilst I still think it's innocent, I just want to say I always get my babies free range. So,
All
but
right.
I'm sure
So
it's
back
absolutely
in
horrific.
oh, it
whatever
is, yeah. So back in the I think the 1880s,
Oh,
Victorian men decided that the way to stop illegitimate births was to free men from the financial responsibilities from all of their kids that were born illegitimately, because this would teach the women that not to have sex, because if they got pregnant, they would have no financial support that they were previously entitled to, because parents should care for their fucking kids. So a ton of women who got pregnant in getting pregnant outside of marriage, the fathers didn't have to take care of them, and they didn't have the means to take care of themselves and their kids. And so there became an entire industry of people who would put out ads and basically act as, this was before adoption was regulated. And they would say, for like a 10-pound fee and some clothing, give me your baby and I will place them in a home for you. And it was like a one-time upfront payment. And the particular story was a true crime story about this one woman who was caught. She would pose as a middle-class woman who was childless, looking for a child to adopt, would place ads in the local paper. Women would come to her and she would take the one-time lump sum payment. And then the mothers would go away and she would OD them with opiates, because there was something called Mama's Little Hell. It was basically like, you used to be able to give your kids fucking opium if they were crying in this time.
Yeah.
And instead of taking care of the kids, which was expensive, she would just kill them.
Oh, fuck.
And then she'd go and get another payment, and another baby would die, and another one. And she did this for years and years and years. And then finally, she got caught on something else, a charge, went to jail, came back out, and then decided she didn't even have to bother with the death certificate, because what she would do is she would OD the babies, bring over the doctor, the coroner would come, and they would say it's malnutrition or, sudden crib death or whatever else. And they didn't look at it. They didn't care at that point, because, Victorian Britain was so moral. And after her case came to light, because when she got out of prison the second time, she would just started content warning for child murder. I guess it's too late for that. But she didn't overdose them anymore. She would just strangle them. And instead of reporting it to the coroner, she just started burying the bodies, dumping them in the Thames. And someone came across the body of one of the infants, and through some detective work, because of some evidence left behind, they managed to trace it back to a name that she was using as an alias and trace it back to her. And ultimately she was convicted for one murder. Although they estimate the rate that she was taking kids, it was probably over the years closer to 400 in the hundreds.
Hell.
Yeah. And after that, they decided, maybe we should make it so adoption isn't profitable.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah. And they were called baby farms. They're baby farmers. And they would farm your kids out to a wealthy couple or someone who needed kids.
Oh, grim.
Very. Yeah. Incredibly.
Well, that sucked the life out of the room. That's an
All right,
unfortunate use of phrase. Jesus.
I think we got there from C of E. Yeah. I guess if you're not, my apologies, everyone. I mean, we thought the Trump stuff was bad, but I just took it worse.
So Biden put out this wear a mask save lives. Tammy Lawrence came forward and said,
Tommy Lauren, you're right.
It's a joke. She would get a name right.
Oh, right. Okay.
Might as well carry a purse with that mask, Joe.
A what? Did you actually see? I know that's bullshit, but on Fox News, someone was making the argument that Biden isn't now qualified to be president because Trump has experience with COVID. Yeah. He lacks the experience Trump has with COVID.
Oh, fucking hell.
That's the world we're living in right now.
Is it gay not to get a deadly disease?
I like my presidents who haven't gotten COVID.
Whee.
Actually, I kind of took that from something I saw on Twitter. So, But yeah, just I heard. Sorry. Can you that Tommy thing? Yeah, look at her. Look at the ratio on that.
Yeah, there's a bit of a ratio going on there. 25,000 comments.
Yeah, dragged.
Yep. Oh, that's a bit a horrible story. We've had too much horribleness. But a third grade teacher died, and someone was just making the point about Trump being a prick. Anyway,
Yeah, irresponsible.
The British government giving money to private contractors who are unable to fulfill said contract. They're now being sued again. So, yeah, I
mean, thank goodness someone's looking out and checking this government.
Yeah. They're awful. I don't know if you saw. Well, you probably didn't watch the show, but did you see the story that I covered yesterday about the spreadsheets?
Oh, is that where they lost 16,000 cases?
Yeah, because they were using Excel and a kind of fucking thing they've spent over £12 billion on. And
it ends up just being an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, it was an Excel spreadsheet, and no one thought to check what the maximum file size for an Excel spreadsheet was. Like, why not record it, chisel it onto rock like an ancient Greek or something? What the fuck?
Like, I mean, there are databases for this sort of thing to track.
Yeah, there are specific pieces of software you can buy for less than £12 billion. Sorry.
What do? You just throw up your hands,
Or, again, I couldn't possibly suggest this is a thing, but people in the past, the Dutch once ate their prime minister.
What?
That's a thing that actually happened, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Cannibalism?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to dark places. Baby farms and cannibalism. I don't know this story. Go ahead.
They were unhappy with his policies, so they ate him. They were just going to kill him, and then some people ate him. It happened. If you look back, oh God.
How long ago was this?
Oh, about 500 years or something. Dutch ate their prime minister. Johan de Witt. Yes. Where are we? Disaster year? What? There was a warship named after him. The murder
Lynching
of
De Witt.
Where's that?
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see.
Hang on.
I was at the very, very bottom. It was after mathematics.
Did an angry... Oh, hang on. I'm about to be debunked here.
Okay.
Is it true that Birdie Blur was killed along with his brother? There are accounts that some of the mobs taking parts of the bodies and eating them. In 1612, the Dutch Republic was at war with England and France. Many people... Johan de Witt. Anyway, part of his body got ate, apparently. So there you go. Just saying, Britain, we've got options. And there's plenty of the fat cunt to go around. I can say that I'm fat too. Anyway, oh God, based on Trump saying the Democrats want to kill babies, blah blah blah. But if we let women have abortions, how will they ever lose a child to COVID or a school shooting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very dark, but I see the point.
Yeah, this is quite something. Internet genius here. Leafy, who's a gobshite, says, controversial take. Fuck trigger warnings. Fuck your safe space. This Rational Disconnect says, thank you, guy from 2014. And then this genius says, he was born in 1995, but try again.
What?
That about sums it up. How giganto-brained do you have to be? Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's Tim Pool levels of nonsense. Anyway. Yeah, Francis, the one who wants me to fuck Poles, came back. He's getting more direct, the lad. Just show me your dick, Kev. To which I responded with a picture of my very, very happy penis. Anyway.
You guys have, there's definitely some kind of like sexual tension there between the two of you.
Look, come round, buy me a meal, a few drinks, we'll see where the night takes us, Fran. Anyway, yeah, Project Veritas. I'll just, in case anyone knows Tulsi Gabbard, maybe get in touch with her about this. Subject of the Project Veritas voter fraud was offered $10,000 to lie.
Oh, really? Really? They're offering people to lie. Project Veritas.
I know.
I can't believe it.
Shocking. I know. I couldn't believe it.
Of course
Tulsi
they did.
Gabbard was out there just being like, "Yeah, it's true. I believe this." because Tulsi Gabbard is a hack.
Oh yeah.
How long
She's not all
before
present.
she starts doing fucking PragerU videos?
Oh, like a year and a half at the max.
That's just the number of people being hospitalised in England and Wales because of COVID.
Yep, expect those numbers. I mean, to keep going up because winter.
What's the opposite of flattening a curve?
Puffing it out.
Yeah, that's us.
Mm-hmm.
That's the place I live. So
congratulations, you are run by morons.
If I make it to Christmas, I've probably done pretty well.
You survived almost 1 year of COVID under the Johnson government. I think that deserves a T-shirt.
Yeah, maybe I should start selling commemorative coins.
In your gift shop.
In my gift shop, which I totally have. I totally have one. Yeah, Facebook took this post down because Trump was lying. He basically was suggesting that flu was more deadly than coronavirus, which isn't true.
It's a lie.
Yeah. 6 years to the day from his going into hospital. Or coming out of hospital, I should say. What the hell is Obama doing, allowing all these potentially very sick people to continue entering the US? Is he stupid or arrogant?
Mm-hmm. There's a tweet for everything.
Look, there's a tweet for everything, but rarely does he literally to the day. Good Lord.
Yeah. Well, he's been doing those a lot lately because he also had the day that he announced he had COVID. It was the day he had mocked Hillary Clinton for having pneumonia.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe just October is a very on fleek month. Oh, hello, sweetheart.
Look at that cat. Absolutely adorable. Cheeky little leg poking out as well.
Yeah.
I love
I love this.
Yeah, look, spilled out. And look at the cat's face. He cannot believe it.
It's like Christmas and his birthday and an extra holiday he doesn't understand, all wrapped in one.
That must have been the face when they found Tutankhamun's grave and they looked in there. That's the face.
Yeah.
Boom.
That is amazing. It's so good. Like 439,000. That's like 500,000. That's amazing.
Yeah. And rightly so. Look at that cat's face.
Yeah. That's crazy.
This is a nice pun. I was recently asked who my favourite vampire was. I said the Muppet from Sesame Street. They told me he doesn't count. I replied, I assure you he does.
I love to count.
Indeed. Who parked their cats?
The whole world is their bed.
Yeah.
The whole world.
I'm just going to sleep
Everything.
on this curb. That's fine.
Yep.
Look at the markings on these.
Oh, wow.
Like leopards.
Little tigers. Yes.
Tiny little leopards.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Glorious.
Yeah, very gorge.
Is this cat trying to seduce me? I think they might genuinely be trying to woo me.
Yeah, come here and pat my belly.
This is
I'll
amazing.
purr for you. Oh.
Teacup pig and mama cat.
The cat is so patient.
It gets even better.
No.
Proper mama. She's proper mama catting the baby pig.
Oh, that's amazing. Love it. Yeah. Oh, that's the stuff I need to get through my day.
Exactly. I always have to end with some cuteness.
Yeah.
We talked about baby farms. We needed teacup pigs and kittens.
Oh,
and shit.
For an hour.
Yes. Anyway, so that's.
Oh, is that you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. All right. Well, I got some good stuff.
Oh,
I got some. Yeah. I know you gotta do your thing. And I've got to do this. Oh. And I've got to share my screen with sound. Very important for this second clip. Yes. But the first thing I want to do is show you the thing that Orion sent us last time, which, okay, we're going to transition from your last adorable thing to a more adorable, to as adorable. This is, his dog apparently had to go in and they needed to do some kind of laser scan on him. So they put little goggles on the dog.
Hang on. Is that a steampunk dog?
It is.
That's amazing. I love it.
Isn't it? Is there a second picture? Oh no, it's just, I don't know, some cats. But this is.
Don't be harsh to the cats. They're not steampunk cats.
No, they're not. But they are cute. But this was just. Loved it. It was so good. All right, so this was a clip. I've been waiting to show you since we decided to do a show. Sound on. I have no idea what the volume is. We're just going to roll with it. Here we go. I am barely breathing. I can't find the air. Don't know who I'm getting. Do you remember that song?
I do remember. Someone got me. Because when I found out Kelly McNamee, or whatever the fuck her name is, had the COVID, I put out ha 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 ha, breathes, ha 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 ha, and someone said, "Don't show off."
Nice.
That is such a delightful extra burn, because that's not what I meant. Yeah. But I'll take it.
No, but yeah, you set it up, and then they helped you with the assist there.
Exactly.
It's a team effort. I'm surprised you didn't get this. After losing 16,000 positive COVID results due to an IT error, Matt Hancock unveils foolproof update to test and trace systems.
It's so ridiculous. Like, even other countries who've used private providers have an actual system that works. Yeah. I mean, I'm against privatisation on fucking principle, frankly. But if you're going to have a private provider do it, give a contract to a company who can actually do it.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
It's the same shit. They gave a ferry contract to a company with no fucking boats. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
So one of the guys that I dated while I was doing my PhD, he was the one from Romford, very sarky bastard. But just occasionally we'd be going somewhere and he would want something to work right, or to find something, or to order something in a restaurant and have it, be available, whatever. And it wouldn't. He would just like sigh and just go, "This fucking country."
Yeah.
And that's like, I just picked that up from him, because there were so many times I'd like be waiting for a bus and it wouldn't turn up. I'd be like, "This fucking country, just sort it out. Just fucking sort it."
Britain doesn't. Britain's like, oh.
No.
Everyone knows Britain's just a bit shit. And we're all
computer
too
says no.
apathetic to do anything about it.
Your spirit's been broken.
We're the residue of a once great empire. And I say great as size and power rather than goodness. It's not a moral thing I'm saying there. We're the residue of a once large empire, the large empire of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're just like a little bit shit. And everyone's just like, ugh. I mean, we could fix some stuff, but can we be bothered?
Well, that can't be asked.
National infrastructure sounds like a lot of effort. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
that's basically
on,
it.
So
and I've got hobnobs. I'm fine. It's fine. Just get some hobnobs. Put on the kettle.
Yeah, we know everything's a bit shit, but it's not third world shit. So we're all right.
Yeah,
that'll do.
It's just sort of soul crushing shit.
Yeah,
it's just kind of like constant microaggressions, like everyone against you, like instead of like being British.
God, that's such a great way of putting it. This country is just living in this country is just a series of cultural microaggressions.
Yeah,
constantly.
Yeah,
your entire existence is just the country
beaten
shitly
down,
microaggressing you into a fucking pathetic, soulless husk.
Yeah, just sort of a compliant zombie. I'm like, all right, I give up. Can I have can I have some crisps with that? I'll be fine, whatever.
There's a fantastic Stuart Lee sketch which sums up how shit the country is in such a banal way. And it is totally banal. The country is such a boring place. And it's based on a thing that actually happened to him, where he went into a hotel and said, "Oh, can I have a room?" And they said, "Yeah, you have to ring up the booking line." And he was like, "But I'm stood here in the foyer of the hotel. That doesn't make any sense." And so he had to ring up, and they were engaged. So he had to stand there for 20 minutes on the phone to someone in presumably fucking India or somewhere, probably, because that's what call centers where they generally are, right?
Yeah.
So that he could hire a room in the building he was stood in. And that's it. This fucking country.
Yeah, this fucking country. Exactly. Or the idea that you have to pay a fee to stay on the line to get fucking advice about something like your water service.
Yeah.
Like 800 numbers that charge you money. I'm like, but I pay for my fucking bill. Like, should be included.
The train stations, 50p to go into the toilet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll be honest, I think I've only ever paid that twice because I've got legs and I can jump. But you're supposed to pay 50p to go into the thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm paying 90 quid for the fucking ticket, you cunts. You can't
Oh,
give
yeah.
a piss. No, fuck
Or-
it. What I'm
or-
going to do is I'm going to stand there right in the middle of the fucking thing and just piss my pants to make a fucking point and then have a soggy journey.
Yeah, or you know, like you've had a hard day, like I would be go and do my teaching at Birkbeck, and I would pay. Well, it was my student discount, but I would pay like 23 quid or whatever it was to get to London and back. And you know what I buy with that fucking money? I buy a fucking seat. I don't buy standing jammed up in a crowd of people in the carriage area between the two cars, with the wind blowing at me because you guys have oversold the fucking car.
Yeah.
Ugh. Anyway, so sorry, I'm just
getting.
getting.
There's no even a thing as overselling the car because the private system is so shit that basically, if you buy a ticket, you just go on to the next train that arrives, which means at peak hours, if there's ever a crash in a peak hour train, everyone's dead. No, you can't
Yes.
get out of that. You're all dead. It's very simple.
And the number of fucking delays, like just
Yeah.
water leaves on the track. Fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Well,
It's been a
not
long
just that,
time since I've had a good British mode.
Replacement bus services.
Replacement of fucking bus services. Oh my god, they're the worst. They're the fucking worst.
Away game watching the Blues, going to Newcastle, right, which is a fair old journey from anywhere in England, basically, because it's right at the very north of England, just before you get to Scotland, basically. And it's a lovely place and all the rest of it. And we had to get the replacement bus service from like Leeds, which is like 100 fucking miles away. So what should have been like a 4-hour train journey turned into half a day, basically.
Of course.
And we got there just in time. Just in time, but then we had to climb to the top of the thing and we missed the first 5 minutes. But the train journey back was okay because it wasn't rush hour. And we were really drunk. So that
And now I understand why people drink on the trains. Because you have to dull the pain.
Yeah, well, it's the old... what's his name? Doug Stanhope line. He says, "I'm Doug Stanhope, and that's why I drink."
Yes.
I'm British, and that's why I drink.
Yeah. It's to dull the pain of being British.
Yeah, Britain's not so bad if you're pissed.
No. Just self-medicate a little bit.
Chops, it's all right. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna try to keep this a little bit light. Isn't this sweet? Look at this. He's so baby, I cry. Oh, look at him. He's tiny little thing.
That he will eat a mouse.
What else have I got here? Oh yeah, you did the ads thing too. Oh, this is early voting in Ohio. And every time I see someone standing in line with a mask, I just assume they're going to vote for Biden and the Democratic ticket, or most of it at least.
Probably.
First day of early voting. Look at this.
What state is this? Ohio.
Ohio, yeah.
The shit Scrabble score state.
Yeah.
Which I
I mean, people lining up for hours just for the chance to cast their vote against Trump, which I love. I love it.
Is Ohio would that be the smallest Scrabble score of all the states?
Possibly. I don't know Scrabble points. So what's
Utah.
O and
Utah? No, H is 2, isn't it? Actually, yeah, but they've got a H. So Utah might equal them. I'm not sure.
And you've already got the Tommy thing. We got that. Just Joint Chiefs. That's it. I really just want to do. I am hardly breathing. I can't. That was it. That was all I really wanted.
Oh right. Oh, you're done. Oh, okay. That was.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
I mean, there's a really depressing one about COVID that Lincoln Project also put out, but it's really fucking depressing, and I'm kind of over depressing at this point.
Okay. Well, we'll just look at pigs again.
All right. Trains have carriages. Thank you, Sean. Trams have cars underground.
No, fuck you. Trains have cars. Fight me.
Toot toot. Debate me, bro.
That is the overcrowded hill I'm prepared to die on. Okay.
Why is Bono trending? Who cares?
Why is Bono trending? Is he?
Oh, he's gone. He's already gone. He was there and now he's gone.
No, well, no, we're going to find the fuck. What's he up to?
Okay.
Is he dead? For pretending to be an oppressed North of Ireland Catholic. If you think it's... What? What?
I don't know.
John Bon Jovi on Armchair Podcast speaking about who his upbringing was different to Bono, I didn't have Orangeman walking up my neighbourhood saying, "Oh, it's some weird shit." I don't fucking know.
Okay.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
that's
me.
me. Hello.
Yeah. Hey, you want to watch ourselves? It'd be really fucking boring. Be very meta.
Oh,
Not
that's
me.
me. Hello.
Yeah. Hey, you want to watch ourselves? It'd be really fucking boring. Be very meta.
Anyway, so there you go. There you go. Proper broadcasting.
It's happy hour inception.
Yeah, you're very welcome. This is a very well planned out show. We don't get distracted at all. We're going to look at the Carl video, are we?
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, I don't have enough div in my life.
Good.
But play
Anyway, so I only watched about the first minute of this. I didn't even start on it, so I have no idea.
couldn't even last 5 minutes, huh?
That's what she said. Look at the Dow Jones. It's
Dow Jones
cratering, is it?
Why? I mean, why today? I don't even pay. Like, the stock market is just rich people playing around with money. Like, it has nothing to do with economies. What is going on? That's 300 points.
Yeah, 14. Hang on, so that's 28, 34, 27, 90, 19. It's, yeah, look at that. And that's in the space of about 10 minutes. Oh, shit. Okay.
Some kind of, yeah.
Stock market reaction to Trump cutting off stimulus talks with the Democrats.
Oh, he's fucking up the stock market because he's going to say, we can give plenty of money to rich people, but we can't give people money who pay their taxes so that it can stay in their houses. Yeah. We can't spend money on ordinary people, just my friends.
Yeah. Trump says the fake news media refuses to discuss how good the economy and stock market, including jobs under the Trump administration, are doing. Yeah, okay, babe. I mean, I know you're not good with graphs, but that's not a positive movement in the last.
No, that's the opposite of up. Yeah. I don't know if you know the word down. Yeah, that's what's happening.
Like the oxygen in your red blood cells.
Yeah, your oxygen levels are going.
Isn't it nice being able to breathe? Anyway, so yeah, the critical race theorist. Oh, hang on. Oh, before we even get to that, sorry. Yeah. I've been falling down a bit of a weird wormhole. There's a guy.
Okay.
He's called Based Abbo. Oh shit! Sexy dancing there. Called Based Abbo, which I think Abbo is slang for Aboriginal, right? So it's
okay.
He's I'm a brown guy, but I'm one of the good ones. You know.
What's this? He's like, shoe. What's this? Threads of leaks from Shoe's leftist circle jerk. Discord is complete. Tell me this. Give me this.
This is amazing, right? Shoe on head. Obviously, he's been on something of a leftist arc thing, and the right have not reacted well to it.
Okay, right, like Carl.
Like Carl. Carl does crop up in this, right? But they've taken it to new creepy levels where they're stalking her Discord thing, and this guy has been tweeting out hundreds of screenshots. It's creepy.
I'm sure if Discord existed when we were doing this stuff in 2015 and we had a left Discord, they would have done the same thing to us.
Almost certainly, yeah.
Oh yeah, this is just their tactics applied to Shoe.
Yeah. But look how much shit he's putting out here. Hang on. Tweets, and there's Carl. We'll get back to him shortly.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Trump. Shoe stuff. More shoe stuff.
Hey, welcome to the anti-feminist crowd. Hey, June, welcome to being on the other end of the anti-feminist crowd.
Well, clearly, this is the thing. This is what I'm not warming necessarily, but she seems more genuine than she has been before.
I'm still waiting for genuine apologies for her racism.
No, absolutely. No, don't get me wrong. That's why I don't say warming to. But she clearly doesn't like the fact that she's got a right-wing audience anymore. So that's something. I think that shows something. Anyway, some more stuff from shit. Oh, he tweets constantly putting out screenshots. He's really weird. At one point, he says that she insinuates she wants to fuck Vosh, which I'm not sure is entirely true. But I mean,
I don't like June, but I'm sure that's not true.
Yeah. But look, it just
Like, I'm not gonna.
on
Yeah.
and on all the way down. More and more shoe on head.
Are we
stuff.
sure? We sure this isn't Carl LARPing?
It might be. Who knows? But anyway, yeah. So that's the entire thing, right? He's just fucking crazy. He really is unsettlingly so. But Carl pipes up here, right? Because obviously he wants to get on the act. Because if there's anyone that's reacted really badly to this, it's Carl.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Her leftist fans already know Suckdem is a front. She's lying to her audience. Sargon vindicated. Because he said she was turned into a communist.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
But a socialist isn't a communist.
Well, exactly, yeah, because they're full of shit. They think Carl called the Liberal Democrats communists, so the words don't mean anything to him, do they?
No.
Exactly.
Anyone who believes in democracy and respecting human beings.
Yeah.
That's communism for him.
Yeah. Exactly why I call myself a suckdem. The other S word scares people. And because the social democracy is the most achievable thing in the country and I don't want to LARP, I'll be a crypto-socialist. Based. Do it. Can we stop saying based, please? Yeah. Despite making up only 1% of the population, the rich hoard 40% of the wealth. And then this twat chimes in. She's only lying to you conservaderps that thought she was one of you. The rest of us already knew because we do the same thing. I'm a Nordic capitalist on the streets and a Marxist in the sheets. Otherwise, I
actually like that.
That's pretty cool.
Can I get that on a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it on a coin. Coin to the future. Otherwise...
Put it in the gift shop.
Exactly. And Carl says, I'm so glad I don't have to live a lie. Well, apart from your shit marriage, but, you know.
Yeah, his entire life is a lie.
Anyway, so that happened, and it's been so much fun, because he's a lunatic. Look how much shit he's posted. Fucking hell.
How many tweets?
50,
too
60,
many.
I don't know. All with various screenshots, and you just think, why do you care? Honest to God. I mean...
Get offline.
People are sometimes on the left and then change, and sometimes on the right and change. People change. Move the fuck on. Anyway. So... let's listen to... Yeah, so critical race theory, anyway, is the new thing on the right because Trump said it, and these are all pathetic Trump simps.
Yes.
But none of them understand what it is.
Nope.
So having to trudge through the fields of dog shit that are their minds on this matter is quite something. Should we listen to Carl?
Yeah, let's hear a dumb man's report of a clever idea or a useful analytic framework.
Yes.
There seem to be a lot of people outside of Europe who don't actually know what the country Wales is. It's a Celtic nation in the United Kingdom.
No, they're not. They're sea mammals. Yes. Anyway, the country of Wales. It is different. Yep. I'll just briefly explain this to everyone. The UK and Great Britain are not the same thing. The UK is the country which includes Northern Ireland. I'm not going to get into my feelings on that. It's just technically the political situation which exists. GB is Scotland, England and Wales. That's the geographic landmass that is...
Yeah, and when you equate England with all of Britain, you're basically saying Texas is America. That's what I hear, and it annoys me to no end.
Exactly, because that's actually Mexico.
Oh, England did this. No, fucking Britain did this.
Yeah.
It's like, Texas didn't do it. America did.
Yeah.
Learn the difference.
Yeah, if you
it's not that hard.
If you meet a Scottish or a Welsh person, don't say, "Are you English?"
Because
they get bitey. They don't, but they don't like it. Anyway.
Well, we were in Edinburgh. My dad saw a shop.
Edinburgh, please.
And they were, my dad asked if he could have one of the rocks because they were like softened or rounded.
Yeah.
For being in the water. He's like, can I just take one as a souvenir? I'll say, I got it from England. And the guy who was Scottish who was running the shop, he's like, oh no, I'm going to have it back from you now. He's like, Scotland, it's from Scotland.
Too late. Get the fuck out, dickhead. Consider that lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
And as George Bush back in 2005 pointed out, he had no idea. He didn't even know it wasn't in the United States, which tells you everything you need to know about George Bush. But Wales is a very interesting place because it has its own devolved parliament, and with all the devolved parliaments and the ruling ethnic parties...
Actually, it has an assembly.
Yeah.
It's the Welsh Assembly, not the Parliament. That's in Scotland.
Indeed. And they're not ruling ethnic anything,
no.
Carl?
They're territory.
They're Welsh.
Yeah, they're civic nationalists.
Yeah. Well, they're not even that because they're actually far
Well,
to
I'm
the
just
left.
using his term against him. Yeah, I'm just using his term against
Yeah, they're
him.
classical liberals, Carl. Yeah, they're not ethnic at all because actually some of the most prominent people in those parties are like sons and daughters of immigrants and stuff. They're actually very inclusive. There's nothing ethnic about them, you fucking idiot.
Nope.
Anyway.
And a lot of the young people are multilingual.
Yes.
They learned Welsh in schools and they speak with their grandparents, but their parents don't know what they're saying because there's a whole generation that didn't grow up learning Welsh because they tried to decimate the Welsh culture.
Indeed, and by they, England.
English, yeah. As they do.
That end up taking over these places. In Scotland,
In fact, actually, my tap water literally comes from a place that was destroyed.
What?
Yeah. There was I forget the name of Trigger something or other. Anyway, there was a Welsh town in a valley, and Birmingham doesn't have like a major river running through it. And well, Liverpool does, but it's not deep enough for them to actually take water from the Mersey. So both cities, as they were burgeoning, needed water. So they flooded a Welsh valley, which included town that was already there. So they evacuated the place and built a reservoir and all the rest of it. And when it's at low tide, you can literally still hear the church bell ringing in the wind.
That's heartbreaking.
It's absolutely appalling. But what am I going to do? Not have tap water? Like I can't change it. It's happened, you know. It happened long before.
I mean,
I was
we
born.
inherit. Yeah, we inherit the crimes of our forefathers.
Indeed, yes. So understandably, the Welsh not enormously happy about that. And by the way, you should look into the terrorist campaign that some of the locals engaged in, based on that. They were going to blow up Prince Charles.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's a different thing. It doesn't matter. It's it's just a thing if you're interested. But anyway, yes. So that's the Welsh have been shat on. Well, for centuries.
Oh, yeah. I mean, basically, the Scots always put up a fight, but the Welsh got crushed pretty early on.
Yeah, there are obviously hills and valleys in Wales, but Scotland's got proper like mountains and shit you can hide in.
Yeah.
And they've used it to their advantage many times. Anyway, as the Romans found, no fuck around in Scotland.
It's the SNP. In Wales, it's Plaid Cymru.
And it's Plaid Cymru, you ignorant cunt.
It is Plaid Cymru.
Jesus.
He is an ignorant cunt.
Yeah.
It's his own fucking country. He can't pronounce it.
Exactly. You might know where Wales is, but you don't understand even the
Plaid
pronunciation
Cymru.
of things. Anyway.
Nope.
Yeah.
Very, very openly ethnic parties. I mean, you couldn't have like an English party.
Yes, you can.
What?
You literally
What
can.
is he fucking talking about?
There's the English Democrats. They run every time, and no one votes for them because the English don't give a fuck. You don't need an English party because England already runs the fucking show.
Yeah, you've got basically Labour, which is not as distinct from English Labour as Scottish Labour is, Yeah. And you've got Conservatives, and you've got fucking UKIP in Wales.
Well, I think the Scottish Labour Party are on the verge of potentially stopping being unionist at this point because they're sick of having to be more right-wing than they know they can be and should be in Scotland because the English party, which dominates because that's where most of the people live, forces them at general elections to have electoral policies which are very similar to the Tories, basically. Yeah, anyway.
Yep.
That would get elected to Parliament. But Plaid Cymru, the Scottish National Party, these things are for some reason acceptable. But
UKIP is a fucking English party.
Yeah, UKIP was an English party. They didn't get elected. The English nationalists have existed for a long time.
Yep.
Before that, you had things like the Referendum Party, which claimed to be nationalist but was started by an Australian. There you go. It's fine, Carl. You can run as an English nationalist.
He's lying.
Yeah, he's a liar.
Not even a minute in, he's lying.
Yeah.
But this country is small. It's got 3 million people. And out of that 3 million people population, it has 0.6% of it are black. So out of 3 million people, 18,276 are black, according to the last census. 99.4% of Wales is not black. And I can imagine that the first black people who arrived in Wales probably didn't do it all that long ago.
My fucking flag's fallen down.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh, it's gone completely. Oh, never mind.
You have to tack that back up.
Imagine there's a flag there.
And so it's very interesting how you get Mark Drakeford, who is the Prif Winnie Dog Cymru, which I guess is the First Minister of Wales.
Yes. Yes.
It's Welsh.
they're bilingual, Carl.
Yeah.
They speak Welsh and English in the Welsh Parliament.
Mm-hmm. Because that's a native language to your island.
Yeah.
Welsh.
And it's interesting, yeah, the video after this is called something like the virtue of tradition or some nonsense. Hang on,
He means whiteness.
Yeah.
I think I saw it when you went to his channel.
The moral value of traditions. And yet the tradition of speaking Welsh in Wales apparently is too much for him. That blows his fucking head.
Or wearing the tartan, or speaking
Scottish,
which they tried to run in culture. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be honest with you, it's quite funny because sometimes we don't get the Welsh rugby union games in England other than on BBC Wales, which is in Welsh. Mm-hmm. So I'm sat there listening to rugby in Welsh, and it'll just be Jenkins, like, I don't understand what they're talking about. But they're all Welsh names. The amount of times they say Jones, well, that could be that's a dozen of the cunts on the pitch. I don't fucking know which one they're talking about. Anyway, so but yeah, that's a lot of fun. For those who don't know, I'm not taking the piss. I'm a Welsh rugby union fan.
Yeah, sorry. Sam in the chat says, "Wait till he hears about the Cornish party."
Yeah, there's a Cornish separatist party, and they've got their own. Again, Cornish they've got their own language. Yeah.
Again, you're sounding a bit soft to me.
The Cornish.
Oh, you know what? I might have turned it down because Carl was a bit loud in my ears. That might have been it.
Oh well.
So I'll turn you up.
I
just turned down to 75. Yeah, okay. Turn to 75%. He's just shouting in my ears, and it's just hard enough to listen to him anyway.
Apologies. Anyway, yeah.
No
so they've got their own language in Cornwall as well. It's not as widely spoken as Welsh is in Wales, and Scots Gaelic is in
no.
Scotland.
They're very much about their independence and their identity, but not so much about the language.
And it's understandable because, not unlike Wales and Scotland, they've been fucked on by the rest of the country. It's one of the poorest places in the country. I mean, they constantly keep electing Tories, though, which is really annoying because they're not going to help you. The fuck?
No.
What can you do? I suppose that could be true of the north of England as well, and it still happens. So, I don't know.
Yeah, people went over to UKIP and Tories and shit. Yeah.
Anyway. Let's hear Welsh. Let's hear Carl denigrate
his country,
the heritage and tradition of his country, or part of his country, whatever.
In Welsh, saying Black history is Welsh history.
Oh, by the way, he's not Welsh. When I say country, I mean like the UK rather than specifically Wales.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, if you say so, Mark. Wales isn't the first country I associate with Black history. I'm going to be honest. There are actually loads of other countries that I associate a lot more swiftly with Black history than Wales. But okay.
So what?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. There are countries that have a more predominant number of Black people. I would imagine that, say, Nigeria would have a better claim to the idea of Black history being a part of their history, but that doesn't mean that Black Welsh people, of whom there are apparently 18,000, you just said, do they not get to be represented?
They are also in the flow of time, right? So they have a history?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you really need, is to be in the flow of time.
I believe so, yeah. Yep. And technically, coal miners come out looking black as well. So does that
It's not quite the same.
Does that count? I don't know. That's not really blackface though. You can't. It's kind of hard to avoid.
No, it's coal face.
Yeah, it's coal. Yeah. It's coal face. That means something different, Kristi. Please.
Oh, at the coal face. Right.
Indeed.
I mean, sure, you can say that Wales has had interactions with Black people, and it has, obviously.
No, it's not as interactions, as citizens, residents, people who pay their fucking taxes.
Yeah, people, and not just that, but people talking about rugby, people who've represented Wales in various fields who've been Black. Now, again, statistically, there aren't a huge number of Black people in Wales. That's true. But so what?
They're still part of the history from when they arrived to now.
Yeah.
You know, when their families came over, just like every other group that sort of like moves around, like all of the Americans who never, from Europe who landed, and all the people who were stolen and brought over from Africa against their will.
Yeah. Indeed.
As part of the British Empire. So sure, there is definitely going to be some kind of ethnic crossover and like engagement there, I guess. If this is the way we're deciding to look at it, I mean, Welsh isn't a race, it's an ethnicity, and then Black is not.
No, it's not. Wait. It's one. Okay, sorry. One, it's a territory. Two, it is an identity. It's an identity, just like being English is an identity.
Yeah.
It's not just like white people are the only people who can be Welsh. If you live there and you grow up there, you're born there, or you emigrate there and you become a citizen and you identify as Welsh, you're fucking Welsh. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, that is literally it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not, yeah. So again, he's just wrong on everything.
Yep.
But okay,
A country,
so we're
yes, it's a nation, you can say, not a country, it's a nation.
Yeah.
Technically, Tony. It's not a country, it's a nation.
Yeah.
Aha, Tony, I know something more than you do because I actually, yes. So I said territory in terms of its
Tony.
physical geography.
Dickhead.
That's what I meant. It has a physical geography. That's what I meant by it's a territory, but it is a nation. Anyway,
It also has
like the Six
a
Nations.
metaphysical geography.
Yeah, it's not the 6 countries, it's the 6 nations.
6 Nations? Oh, the rugby union team,
Yeah.
competition. But that's not just Britain. That's also got France and Italy, which is weird.
Right, but you got 4 nations in Britain and then 2 other countries.
Indeed. But now you're complicating it because Ireland play as Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland play as Ireland in rugby.
Well, that's not my complication. That's their problem.
You brought it in. I didn't mention it.
dividing Welsh history, the ethnicity Welsh, into the racial categories for some reason. I don't really know what the benefit of that is.
Well, because the different people experience the world in different ways, and acknowledging that and studying that is a perfectly worthwhile endeavour.
It seems like Carl is outraged at the idea that people who live in a country should have their history in that nation, should have their participation in that nation acknowledged because they're not white. That's it. The only thing he's objecting to here is that it's for black people.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking racist.
And not just that, but Carl, he's the First Minister of Wales, which again doesn't have a parliament, it has an assembly, so, well done there. Very well researched, even though you literally read out that he's the fucking First Minister. Anyway, there are black people in Wales, which you showed us. This person represents all of the people of Wales because it's the First Minister. That's how heads of government work. It's devolved government, so it's not quite the same as Prime Minister, but effectively. So that he has to represent those 18,000 people as well as the rest.
As well. Yeah.
So he's not saying white people aren't part of Welsh history, Carl.
Nope.
Because, clearly, I would at least assume he would consider himself part of Welsh history, and he's very white, and looks a little bit like a duck, I'll be honest. Also,
it's clear that people need education on Black History Wales, because, for instance, you don't know fuck all about it.
Yeah.
That's why it's needed.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, it's often more interesting to look at the smaller groups, because generally, white people in Wales know about white people in Wales. Whereas... Actually, can we go to... Sorry, go ahead. No, go on.
I was going to ask if we can go to bhmwales.org.uk and just see what they've got up there. What is Carl so upset about?
BHM?
Black History Month. Yeah, Wales.
BHM Wales, okay.
Yeah.
Black History Month Wales. Year on year... Oh, hang on, there we go. Black History Month and Black History Cymru 365. Black history artists, our approach to Black history. Yeah, culture, contributions to, National Black History Youth Awards, yeah. And you can submit your own event if you want to put on your own event, and they'll give you a big up. Yeah, 2,000 nations celebrating African and African Caribbean people descend from around 2,000 different ethnic groups, each of which has its own language and tradition. They will explore these, celebrate the rich heritage through the arts. It's seems to be mostly a cultural and arts event. Yeah, and I mean, unless they're hiding it really well, I don't see the fuck white people section. No. You probably have to click through and find it, I imagine. But but here, this is important. If you scroll up a little bit, there was about Black Lives Matter Wales. Yep. Right, and we know racism doesn't stop at the English border. No, that's true. Coronavirus, the impact on the Black community, BMAE, yes. And look, funding for the Polish community in Llanelli, which white people, Carl. Town I know very well, lovely place. Yeah, exactly. You should like that. It's white people. Yeah, it's white people also get helped by not being a racist prick. Yep, and the structural and systemic racism key factor in Wales COVID BME deaths. So. Yeah, a lot of things that are relevant to people's lives now, as well as cultural
festival. Like it looks like celebration.
Yeah. But again, like I say, I don't see a fuck honkies bit.
Salty crackers section.
Yeah. They're clearly hiding their power level. And that's a cool symbol. Look, it's the shape of Wales in the shape of Africa. Oh, that's
that is
an
cool.
awesome little image. If I was a black Welshman, I'd be like, yeah, that's badass. Put that on a fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
I mean, why can't you be proud of... But why can't people who are black and in Wales be like Americans who are Italian or Irish maintain their cultural links, even though they haven't lived in Europe for like hundreds of years? But that's okay. We can have St. Patrick's Day. We can all like, do stuff with...
And they fucking chose to go there. Black people didn't.
Right. So if you're black and Welsh, why can't you want to celebrate your heritage as well as being Welsh?
Indeed.
Like everyone else can.
Yeah. He's not saying black people aren't Welsh or Welsh people aren't black. He's saying the two things can exist at the same time.
Yeah, mind blown, Carl.
They do. They literally do. That's how that works.
Yeah, those. There's like at least 18,000 of them.
Exactly. Yeah, and hopefully they'll all be doing some miscegenation to breed out the whites.
Yeah, in the chat, Thunder Juice, nice, says Colin Jackson is from Cardiff and he's our greatest hurdler.
Yeah, Colin Jackson, national hero, mate. Absolutely, yeah. You've got loads. You've got Ashley Williams, the centre-back, Hal Robson-Kanu, Robert Earnshaw. Yeah, some fantastic black representatives of Wales in sport.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
But what he's announcing here is a year-long version of Black Lives Matter, the Black History Month, which is weird.
Those are the same thing.
We just looked at the website. Yeah. We just looked at the website.
Yeah, a year-long Black History Month, Black Lives Matter, it's all the same. It's blacks. The blacks are doing stuff.
Because a month apparently lasts a year now. I mean, it's a full year of activities, but it's honest, like celebrating.
There have been months this year that have felt like a year.
There are days that have felt like a year in this 2020.
Yeah, very true.
It's basically it's a tourism thing, Carl. It's about getting the British economy going again. You should be sucking this guy's dick, because you love capitalism and money and shit. They're like, oh yeah, get people.
I'll be honest, if that sex tape's out there, I'll watch it. That would be amazing. Oh God, I mean, because I'll be honest, it would be him and Drakeford are not the slimmest of chaps. It would be like two rotting walruses. Well, I'm a damn down for watching that, yeah. Okay. Anyway. I think he's married, though, Carl. And unlike you, he probably keeps his vows. Anyway.
This is being done by Cardiff's... not Cardiff's. Wales, the Welsh Race Council. Now, why the hell? Why have we got race councils? Doesn't that just sound like the sort of thing a Nazi would set up? The problem...
God,
no,
he's such an asshole.
It doesn't sound like a race purity council.
No.
Should we check out the RCC?
Yeah. What he's basically saying is, why are we doing anything to acknowledge the existence of non-white people? Yeah. This makes me mad.
Race council.
Let's go to, I'm sure there's like an about. Yeah, go to About Us. Let's see what it says.
Our organisation. We're working together to promote racial equality, integration and justice in Wales.
Wow. Treating people as equal and having them be able to access services and public life and civic life and social life without any barriers. Yeah. Treating people first as people and citizens, and then also acknowledging their various backgrounds.
The Race Council Cymru (RCC) is an overarching umbrella body established by ethnic minority grassroots communities in Wales to bring key organisations and work together to combat racial prejudice, race discrimination, harassment, victimisation, abuse, and violence. Since its established in 2010, RCC represents and supports organisations and grassroots communities in Wales to strategically challenge racial inequality, prejudice and discrimination.
Yeah, why would Carl want people to live and be able to exist without racism? I mean, he loves racism. He loves inequality. He loves prejudice and discrimination. It's what he thrives on.
But look,
this is a threat to him.
They work with museums and the police. Ooh. Oh no!
And the Equality and Human Rights Commission.
The cross-party group on race equality, which involves the Conservative Party and UKIP, who have members in the Welsh Assembly, Carl. You fucking idiot. Oh,
God, he's so, you know, he's just ignorant, and he spews his ignorance, promoting ethnic minority, cultural and heritage, promoting equality, you know, monitoring the Equalities Act in terms of, you know, racial justice. Yeah, wow. Imagine people who pay their fucking taxes wanting to be treated equally in the society to which they contribite.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Communication. Oh, that's terrible. Why would you want to talk to black people? That'd be crazy talk. What's the point?
Yeah.
Opportunity for good race relations between people from different racial backgrounds. Oh no!
So yeah, exactly
scary.
the opposite. It's not something the Nazis would set up, Carl.
Yeah.
This would make them piss their pants.
Yeah, I don't know that the Nazis' the Nuremberg laws were all about peace and harmony.
Now, Carl would have supported those.
Disenfranchising racial minorities and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be all down with that, Carl. He would have been a brown shirt, except he wouldn't have been able to fight.
Yeah, I don't know if those brown shirts came in extra large. I can say that I'm a fat prick too. Okay, that's
disclaimer.
That's like fat people N-word. I've got the pass. Okay.
You got the
problem
the
with
fat
institutions
pass.
like this when they have a particular stated method, right? You can set
They're not
them
an
up
institution.
for one reason.
Go on, Sarah.
They're like they're not an institution. They're like they coordinate.
They look an NGO
like grassroots. Yeah. He's such an ignoramus.
Indeed.
But over
With emphasis on the anus.
50 years,
Yes.
if the opinions of the people change, then you still have a race council. And what happens if it gets taken over by people who are actually not very pro-black? What happens?
What?
What happens if they all turn into unicorns and start farting magic dust?
What?
Kristi?
Carl's like, what if we solve racism and then this racial council? This is not, God, he goes through these hypotheticals that just don't make any sense anywhere, not even Carl's head.
Kristi, what about if they all turn into like three-eyed lizard people? What happens then?
That is more likely than what Carl proposed, I have to say, because the aliens might land before the end of the year. Who fucking knows in 2020?
Or they might think to themselves, I'm sick of living in these human suits. Need to get out of this shit.
I'm just gonna unzip it.
Yeah,
just gonna unzip it.
Oh, let it breathe, lad. Let it breathe. Oh, I haven't had a puff of wind around me bollocks in centuries. Oh. Anyway, yes, let's listen to this drivel.
So look at what, so just on this page right now, it says, we are committed to helping you build a more inclusive and cohesive workplace, community group, network, and organization. Just a nice workplace.
Definitely sounds like Nazis have taken that over. Yeah, that's... okay.
Well, also Carl is saying that that Britain is susceptible to being overrun by Nazis.
He's certainly hoping they are, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Carl, I don't know at Auschwitz they were doing like diversity training.
No,
that's
quite the opposite.
What Nazis do is what happened at Auschwitz. What the Race Council Cymru do is like historic events and like cultural bits. Probably like they host maybe a reggae night or something, you know, like just something cool. That, I mean, unless they're banning white people from the event or something, which would be illegal, and you need to show me evidence of that, Carl. I don't know that they're doing anything remotely wrong here. Like, no one's saying there again. Please do point me to the bit in the website where it says, "Oh yeah, honkies can fuck off."
We checked.
It
we
doesn't
didn't
look
see
like
it.
it's well, to be fair, we didn't click on every single thing, okay?
Neither did Carl.
The directions to our head office bit might have actually secretly been like a white genocide screed. I don't know.
What do you do about the race council? I mean, it just strikes me that you would think it better just to not set one up because it's
for fuck's
deliberately
sake.
divisive. That's the point of it, is to literally divide up the races. And I don't think we should be dividing up the race.
No, it isn't about dividing anything. It's about uniting them. It's saying they are in some senses divided. How can we best solve this?
What Carlos is saying is that when black people complain about racism, they're being divisive. Not the white people who are treating them poorly and discriminating again. If it's just if people could stop complaining about racism, everything would be fine for the white people.
You look at activity to celebrate the achievements and contributions made to Wales by individuals of African and African Caribbean descent. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It's not that offensive. honestly, there's nothing offensive about this.
I mean,
this is the kind of perfunctory stuff. This is like Oktoberfest. This is like Polish Fest. It's like German fucking fest that we have in Wisconsin. Nobody has to freak out about that and talks about the culture being ruined.
Yeah. If anything, it might be offensive to Africans because Wales was a part of the former colonial masters of parts of that continent. So having that image of Wales on them, I could understand some Africans being like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But other than that, it's certainly not offensive to white people.
Nope.
Well, I mean, you get white Africans, you know what I mean? Like white British people.
Yeah.
And yes, Carl, you do get white Africans. You're the ones complaining about the genocides of fucking farmers, which didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, I saw an interview from one of the people who was interviewed by Lauren Southern for her the fucking
expose that was fake.
The white genocide in South Africa thing, and she was saying that they lied to her about what they wanted to talk about. Because I mean, her husband was genuinely killed, but it was like a robbery, right? It was fucked up. I mean, it's awful, but it's not a genocide. It's a robbery that turned into a murder, right?
Wow, a far right-winger lying to advance white supremacist propaganda. I'm shocked.
Yeah, she said, well, she wanted to get some justice for her dead husband, understandable, and this Canadian girl wanted to interview her about the thing.
Yeah.
And she didn't know she was going to be interviewed for like a racist fucking thing at all. You know, she was saying she was being duped by Lauren Southern and her bullshit team.
Unsurprising.
So even the people they're supposedly there to help, they were fucking over.
Yeah,
their own racist ends. Jesus, these people are garbage.
Yep.
Anyway,
races
on with it.
Formally, I can't help but feel that that's the first step towards race wars, towards open racism. I mean, look,
race war.
You're putting up an art display and celebrating culture, and that's going to lead to a race war for Carl. If it's not white people doing it, it's got to be bad.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, they've made a statement about George Floyd, so that's clearly a race war.
Yeah, opposing brutality by the police and the racism that's been documented across Britain. Complaining about being brutalized.
If you don't let white people just murder black people with impunity, that's race war.
Yeah. Actually, it is a race war.
Well,
it's one that's got the cover of police legitimacy over it.
Yeah, it's a race war, but black people didn't start it.
Yeah, and it's not black people who are conducting it. Oops, sorry. It's violent sexy dancing on my part.
Now, Kristi, a bit of fucking professionalism. Jesus.
By the way, I'm going to need to take a break in about 5 minutes. Just to FYI. Let's set that up now.
Okay, cool.
Look, the Race Council of Cymru and all our networks stand with black communities and Black Lives Matter in a statement on George Floyd. Like, why? Why do you guys have a statement on a guy in America who died of a drug overdose? Like,
he didn't die of a drug overdose. You, Carl, are a racist liar.
He is a racist liar. That you don't having a cop on your neck isn't a drug overdose. You fucking white supremacist piece of shit, Carl. God, you're shit. You're so shit.
But even if that were the case, clearly that has sparked a movement around the world. There's been a lot of feeling outpoured about it. So the Welsh council on the Race Council Cymru would clearly have something to say about that because they represent ethnic minority people. Because again, it's not just black people, Carl. There are a number of Asian and Asian descended folk from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, that kind of area as well. So, and actually, there are a number of Italians, believe it or not. There was a large prisoner of war camp for Italians in South Wales, and after the war, they were offered the ability to stay in Britain if they wanted to, and many of them did. So they've got there's a kind of weird little pocket of Italian descended people in South Wales.
Just a little bit of breaking news in the chat from Tony, who I trust as a source. He said Eddie Van Halen has died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, we can come back to that. But...
I'm not going to do a jump joke.
No, okay. All right. But anyway, sorry. The whole thing about the George Floyd incident is that it sparked nationwide protests, and that inspired people who also experienced police brutality in other countries by white cops And that's what it's about. There is an identification with the kind of brutality that was responsible for the death of George Floyd at the hands of a state-sponsored execution by police that they acknowledge because they live with it, Carl. They fucking live with it. And as a white person, you don't, because you've got white privilege.
No, white privilege is the racisms.
Fuck off. So anyway, yeah.
Why do you have that statement? What's wrong with you people? But the point is, this is all...
You people? That's a strange turn of phrase, Carl.
Understanding that police brutality, racist police brutality is actually a widespread problem. How dare you bring up the fact that you experience the same kind of police brutality that Americans are also protesting against?
Yeah.
How dare you use your free speech rights that he claims to love so much?
Yes, indeed.
Going to be the consequence of diversity training and critical race theory. This is all the kind of thing that Donald Trump...
But this has got nothing to do with critical race
Wait,
theory.
why is he bringing up fucking Donald Trump? That's not your country, Carl.
Yeah, exactly, Carl.
If they can't talk about George Floyd, you can't talk about Trump.
Well, you're
Them's the
talking
rules.
about someone on the other side of the Atlantic who's having a drug overdose. See what I did? Turned it back on him.
Yep.
Because Trump's off
Yep.
his fucking tits. Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, can I take my break now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm just going to dip for a bit and be right back.
Okay. I've been trying to change my shit on the fly. Doesn't really matter. Shall I try and fix my flag while she's gone? Shall I do that? Chat. I'm going to put my flag back up. Give you something to look at. My big fucking arse. Anyway. It's held on with blue tack. It'll fall down again, I'm sure. Anyway. There we go.
Did you leave as well?
No, I will put my flag back up.
Oh, right. Okay. Is that just blue tack that you got on it, or do you have pins that you push in?
Blue tack.
Get some tacks.
Yeah.
The real tacks.
I already pay my tax. Anyway, I need a piss now as well.
Oh, so is it my turn to
Yes.
keep the...
Put your flag back up. That's what I did.
I'll talk a little bit about international gorillas.
Oh, please do, yeah.
Okay. Kevin's going to BRB. All right, so I don't remember what night it was, but Kevin and I did do the marathon endurance test that was international gorillas. I'd actually seen like maybe the first 20 minutes of that movie, but it is so much more painful and bizarre and nonsensical and so bigoted. Like there's so much bigoted stuff in there, and also just really random things. So I know that we wanted to do a regular happy hour, kind of break up the movie reviews, but when next time we have trash films, oh my gosh. Oh, and because it's on YouTube, we're going to be able to go through the movie rather than doing the screenshots and having 250 slides like I did last time around for the two movies. We're going to just fast forward because there are dance sections. There are dance numbers that go on for 9 minutes in this movie. And it wouldn't be so bad. The dance numbers in International Girls wouldn't be so terrible. But the lyrics to the song, which are done in subtitling, because it's not done in English, obviously, I think it's from Pakistan. But they only have 6 different lines. So she just sings these 6 different lines over and over for 9 minutes in between sort of breakdancing, where she sort of does these, the dancers do these shudder moves. As opposed to something grateful, they just sort of shudder their bodies to the music. Oh my gosh. Oh, is that for Rory Katz? Oh, he can't hear me yet. Wait till he sits down, gets his headphones back in. There we go. Yeah, it was that Rory Katz.
Awake. Yeah.
Okay.
I should probably
That's
explain.
good.
Yeah, he had an accident. I think a door slammed on the back end of his tail, and he lost a little chunk. And there was blood and things. It was very horrible. But yeah, so I had to take him to the vet. So if he comes in, I'll show you. The back end of his tail's got a white bandage on it.
Oh, he's got a little plaster on his tail.
And he's drugged off, but he's awake now. But look, he still looks
Yeah.
groggy. I just saw him walking up the stairs, and he was all over the place like that.
Oh, poor thing.
Bless him.
Yeah. All right, back to this shithead.
Yes.
And we should do exactly the same. Because otherwise you'll get this, the official national online launch of Black History Wales. So Wales is not actually mono-ethnic. It's virtually mono-ethnic.
Is it?
And so because it's virtually mono-ethnic, people who aren't white don't get to do anything about their own cultural heritage or celebrate their own accomplishments in Wales or talk about what it's like to be Black and Welsh or Asian and Welsh.
Indeed. Where are we?
Yeah, he brought up some... he had a wiki thing up, but it wasn't really, for my taste, it was not pretty well explained. Also, these census numbers are from 2011, so these are almost 10 years old now.
2015, 23,000 Poles,
Okay.
10,000 Irish, 13,000 Indians. That's place of birth, so let alone the descendants thereof. 11,000
Yeah, that's not
Germans,
identification.
6,000 South Africans.
There you go, national identity. That's what you want.
National identity, 58% Welsh, only 16% said British. That's good, how you go. Only 7% said both, 12% English only. Okay.
Yeah, and then you get the ethnicities here.
White British is 93%. Okay, so it's a pretty significant amount, to be fair.
And 2011, though. That's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, there won't be another census until next year. By which time I imagine it will have changed quite a lot. But even so. But there's still large numbers of people.
Yeah, he was saying he was just looking at the Black number, of course. But look at, I mean, there's a number of Asian
70,000.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mixed 31. Go miscegenation.
Yeah, and that race council is BMAE, so.
Yeah, which is Black and minority ethnic.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's done. Which is a slightly, I don't like the phrase particularly. But yeah, there we go. And
it is the current,
nearly a third of no religion, so.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway,
so you have tens of thousands of people.
Yeah.
The number. So yeah, 95% white, but you do have Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladesh.
And he's going back to 2001.
Yeah, he's using the farthest left column. He's not looking at the one that's closest in time.
Hang on, was that 1991?
I thought it was 2001, 2011.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, okay, yeah, so he's using 2000... No, hang on, no, because there were 3 columns, weren't there? Hang on.
Go back.
I've gone mad. Oh, no, the percentage, population and percentage, sorry. Yeah,
okay.
2001, yeah,
okay. She's
so
Chinese.
Years,
presumably in Cardiff, the capital city of Wales. But you're going to have these people anyway. But those people can just.
You guys have these.
You guys have these people anyway.
Yeah, I know, ridiculous. But it's not just in Cardiff. Racist. Cardiff is a much more diverse place than Wales at large, as indeed London is. Major cities in general. But there are other places, like I say, I know Llanelli pretty well, and Swansea, which is not too far from there. And they've got
I visited Swansea.
They've got plenty of people of colour around the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a huge percentage, because, I mean, as we saw, like 90-odd% are white. Although, again, many of those are Poles, so you wouldn't necessarily know just by walking past them in the street that they weren't Welsh.
Mm-hmm.
Really, even so.
But, of course, if you're not white, then you're not allowed to celebrate anything.
No.
Otherwise, you're being racist, Carl.
And even then, you're only ever allowed to celebrate whiteness if you're also being racist. If you're celebrating non-racist white stuff, that's racist.
Yes. Anything that doesn't talk about the superiority of white people is racist.
Exactly.
Themselves? Or do we need now an Indian history, Welsh Indian history, Pakistani?
Why not?
Yeah, I'm sure they probably do have Welsh.
What is so offensive about this? I don't understand. This is just like a cultural celebration. Oh wait, I'm sorry. He's mad about that because he can't be actually talking about issues that are life and death, like COVID and the failing conservative government.
Welsh Sojourners with Welsh, Indians, and savage Scots. What? Welsh identity in India? Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I can't find anything immediately on the first page, and we're live, so I'm not doing. Look how doped up he looks. Sorry.
Hi, squirrel.
Yeah.
Only Welsh history, etc., etc. Chinese Welsh history. 'Cause, I mean, let's be honest. Chinese history is Welsh history, isn't it?
Why not?
If
Literally,
they're
what
Welsh
difference does it make
citizens,
to you?
yeah. Why? Again, you're finding things to be offended by and lying about them to justify your own racism, Carl. Because
Yeah.
you're a piece of shit.
If
You're
Chinese-
insecure in your own whiteness.
Yeah, if people of Chinese descent in Wales want to do shit, go for it.
Yeah. Who fucking cares?
I mean,
Again, are you
you've
gonna
already
go
got
to-
like the dragon thing in common with Wales, so I'm sure there's
Yeah,
some
are you
tie-up
gonna-
you could do there.
You gonna go to fucking Milwaukee and protest Polish Fest because nobody there is actually Polish? You know, they're Americans for
No,
like
that's-
multiple generations
That's
going back.
That's fine, Kristi. I'm sure Carl will be going to America and saying, "You people aren't fucking Cheyenne. What are you doing on this land?
Yeah, get off, get out. This
You
doesn't
people
belong to
aren't
you. You stole it.
Choctaw. Leave."
Yeah. Oh wait, no,
Yeah,
you won't.
No, you won't. No.
Hmm.
It's like, why are you doing this? The virtue signal is so strong here. The theme.
No, it's fucking not virtue signaling.
It's
They're
not
working
virtue
with.
signalling if it's the people themselves. If it's black people
Yes.
like doing black stuff, I mean that's a slightly weird way of putting it. But then how is it virtue signaling? They're literally saying, "Oh, this is stuff we like. This is part of our history. Cool." And
Also,
Mark
Carl,
Drakeford has to say it because he's the first minister.
Carl doesn't understand what virtue signaling actually is. Virtue signaling is when you say things and then you don't do anything about it. You're like, oh, this is terrible. I don't like this. But then you don't actually do fucking shit about it. These people are all doing stuff, right? They're putting on events. They're working with the government. They're organizing and coordinating grassroots organizations. And they're focusing on issues that affect their community.
Yeah.
So that's the opposite of virtue signaling. you
Virtue
twat.
signaling would be like pretending to be against child rape, but only when it's brown people, and then doing nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Saying
Yeah.
you're going to go to Rotherham
Carl.
and stir shit up, and then never doing it.
Yep.
For instance.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
You talk shit. You talk shit to signal a certain virtue to your audience, but then you don't do anything because you're useless.
Yeah.
theme for this year is, you'll be surprised about this, celebrating diversity. People of African and Caribbean descent originate from around 2,000 different ethnic groups.
Yeah. Why would that be strange to you?
Right, because it's not white. Oh no, something I'm not used to. Scary, because I am insecure in my own whiteness.
But that's the thing. Any person who actually has any respect for white people would also realise that white people come in loads of different shapes and sizes and from different backgrounds and stuff. As discussed, you get Poles, you get Welsh people, you get Scandinavians. They're lovely. They're all lovely, 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 and very, very white. And that's fine. Like, only a white nationalist would give two fucks about absolute homogeneity.
Oh yeah, because Carl is a white nationalist, so this is why he's complaining.
But it's so strange, because under white nationalism, Carl, we'd have to have loads of Poles over. They'd have to be allowed in. You wouldn't like
and
it.
Romanians.
Yeah. Well, are Romanians white enough?
Ask Carl. He's got the whiteness scale.
Well, does Carl make the scale? Because apparently his granddad was definitely black.
Yeah, exactly. You know, if that's the case, then isn't this your heritage they're celebrating, you dumb motherfucking racist motherfucker?
Yeah, black history is British history.
Isn't that your history, Carl? Are you racist now against yourself?
Or was he lying?
Oh, wait, I think he was lying.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely.
Yes. If this was part of his actual, because he said his grandfather came from some island that was predominantly black or whatever, this means they're celebrating your family's history. So you're objecting to your own genealogy.
Yeah, but he's lying. His granddad wasn't black, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, he's just full of shit. It's whatever suits him at any given time. Like when he made
Yeah, he switches.
Well, I mean, I don't know that he made it up, but the fact that he'd never mentioned it before and then decided to randomly throw it in, just to try and weaponize his wife being raped or something. Do you remember that?
Well, he also... he claimed he was sexually assaulted during the campaign when he was getting a shit for what he said about Jess Phillips. Never mentioned it before, never mentioned it since, only used it as a defense against accusations that he is a shitbag for making fun of sexual assault.
Yeah.
Did it ever happen?
Who knows?
He says it is, and and he's never said anything that is credible about it. He's just said it happened.
Yeah.
Anyone can say anything, Carl.
With a range of over 2,000 languages and multiple cultural traditions. I don't care, to be honest.
Yeah, but they're not being held for you. They don't care if
No,
you care.
this isn't about you. Yeah, this isn't about you, dumb
The entitlement
shit.
here, I don't care. Well, clearly you do. You're making a video.
Yes.
Clearly you do care on some level, Carl.
Why do you hate your own? If you actually are, if your genealogy this is what you claim it is, why does this make you so angry? Because this should be you. This is your culture too.
Exactly. And come the ethno state, Carl, we will find out where your granddad was. I'll be allowed in because I'm whiter than fuck. Like there's snowdrifts that I make look tan. Okay, so I'm fine. Although I will be.
Yeah, but you're on the record.
Communist, so.
Yeah, you're on the record when the race war starts, Carl. I don't think you're going to be pure enough for them.
Exactly. Although I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because neither side will want me. I'm a communist, but I'm white, so where do I go?
Yeah, you're one of the horrible whites.
Yeah.
Like me.
I mean, I would do blackface, but I can't help but feel that would make the situation worse.
Oh, that would make it so much worse, Kevin. Yeah. But you could do white face like white chicks.
Just me and Trudeau in the corner. Have they noticed us yet? Anyway.
I want you to do white face.
I am. My entire internet career. You don't know this. I'm actually a Pakistani woman. So.
Wow, it's an amazing. Yeah, I never would have guessed.
I know.
It's not true.
Mrs. Doubtfire's brother. So, prosthetics.
Oh, right. Okay, I wasn't sure what the reference was there.
Well,
all right, let's get on before.
Who did you think Mrs. Doubtfire
was? Her brother.
Well, it's her brother that does he's the makeup artist guy, isn't he? He does the prosthetics.
Oh, honestly, I've never watched that movie.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why you didn't get it then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
very
ridiculously gay brother who works in TV as well does the prosthetic face and the makeup and all that shit for him.
All right. Got it. All right, back to Carl being outraged over nothing.
Exploring world cultures is fascinating, and I encourage everyone to do it. It's really exciting,
you don't.
But it's a weird thing to have the government of Wales to select one racial group and go, oh, these are the best, though.
What is he talking about? He's opening up some fucking ceremony.
Please do tell me where A, the Welsh government have said anything like that, and B, anywhere on this page it says these are the best people.
No, or in that tweet.
Yeah, none of this says that it literally doesn't make any comment on any other thing. It's just saying people of African and Afro-Caribbean heritage are part of Welsh history. It's not making any statement about any other racial grouping whatsoever, critical or positive.
Carl is delusional, and then he gets mad at his own delusions.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting angry at a thing he made up in his own head.
Yes.
He's tilting.
He's having an argument with himself.
Yeah. He is.
The only place.
He's arguing against the cultural Marxism he's created in his own mind.
Yes, that's the only place it exists.
Rather than the cultural Marxism that me and George Soros are doing in real life.
Yes.
These are great. These are so great. This is Welsh history, right? It's like a year to explore the invention.
Oh, brilliant editing there, by the way, Carl. Superb.
Yeah, shit editing.
Educational achievements, innovative contributions, and celebrate and share this rich heritage through the arts here in Wales. Okay, well, I mean,
through the arts, through the fucking arts.
Yeah, not through like racial conquest.
No.
through like
or government policy.
Yeah, they'll do like some poetry readings or some shit. Like.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Through music, through the medium of visual arts, the plastic arts, dance, whatever.
Lady Blacksmith Man Barzo. No.
Hey, look, it's going to be better than Morris dancing, that's for fucking sure.
Oh, yeah, English heritage is shit. They're just awful. Morris dancing and warm beer. This fucking country.
Yes, dancing around a stick. Fascinating. Be proud of that, Carl.
With jingly bells all over your shins.
Should we look up Morris dancing?
Oh,
should we show people?
Yeah. I mean, if you ever want an example of this fucking cold country, Morris dancing.
Yeah. Are you gonna do? I was gonna say Twitter. Like, okay, I thought you were doing YouTube. But yeah, probably
just in
YouTube.
general. Morris dancing in Oxford.
There we go.
Fucking twats.
They bang sticks together. They bang them on the ground.
And they've got on their shins. They've got these bells. That's what's the
That's your culture. There you go, Carl. Tap, tap, tap. Dance, dance, dance. Tap, tap, tap.
Maybe we do need to be taken over and have this nonsense eradicated.
Yeah, it's fine when it's food for Carl, but not. But this obviously could be replaced. Tick, tick, tick. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap.
Look,
Dance, dance, dance. Dance, dance, dance.
The hacker, like Maori war dancing, is fucking awesome. This is, oh my god, get it out of my fucking face.
Tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
There you go. Be proud of that, Carl. That's what you're wanting. Like say, no, only Morris dancing. No other culture is allowed. But I want an Indian and I want some, Jamaican chicken. Like.
Well, I've literally heard people in the nationalist circles say, "But we've got the recipe now." Oh, oh God. Oh, it makes you think. Maybe a race war wouldn't be that bad.
Joke, joke, joke.
In Minecraft.
Yeah,
because in Minecraft, the white nationalists need to get sorted. So, but only in Minecraft, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Having my discussion about the use of direct violence or direct action against white nationalists the other day on the 84th anniversary of Cable Street, that was very, very. I had to. There was such a fine line on terms of service during that discussion to really craft my words when discussing that topic. Fucking hell. Anyway, so this nonsense.
If you were just to privately open a museum exhibition or go down to the British Museum or something like this, and I'm sure Cardiff has its own museum, and put up these amazing, displays, that would be great. But why?
That's what they're doing.
This feels like this is a moral statement.
Oh, the feels. The feels.
Like
the feels.
Also, he seems to think this is a government event. It's not. It's been put on by this non-governmental organisation. That's what NGO stands for. Non-governmental, Carl. And the First Minister is going to speak at it because he's like a dignitary. That's what they do.
It'll be opened by them. Yeah. It's not put on by the First Minister. It's going to be like he's going to go give a speech and then he's going to get on with his fucking day. Because that's what they do all the time.
Yeah. If it wasn't him, it'd be like, I don't know, the fucking Bishop of Cardiff or something. Like just a dignitary.
Yeah.
You get like a known person to come and speak at the start of the thing.
That's very common. And he's objecting to art. He's objecting to private people coming together and organizing an event that celebrates culture and art to enrich the community, and it has the minister opening it, and he is losing his shit.
Oh yeah, I'd rather Mark Drakeford go to this than open a fucking Morris dancing festival. Because frankly, in that case, revolution is the only answer. Because the government has become boringly tyrannical. It's
become a tool of the Morris dancing sect.
Yeah, the Morris dancing menace.
Yes. It's driving Britain mad, Morris dancing.
Crazy bastards walking around with violent-looking weaponry.
Yep.
I think we need to clamp down on them. Hard, long sentences, back-breaking labour. Oh, fucking hell. Sorry.
You amusing yourself?
I am. I am silly. I was talking about nuking fucking penguins yesterday, so I mean, I'm all over the place.
So none of this feels like it's being done as if it is just academic. This is just for the joy of
It's not academic. Well, not all.
What is he talking about?
There's academia involved in like the study of black history and stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
But like they're putting on fucking poetry slams and like music events and things. Like it's cultural mostly.
Yeah. It's not like they're doing a reading of a paper published in some journal that's 7,000 words long on critical race theory.
Yeah. But
that's not what this event is.
As always with Carl and with the right, they don't know what they're talking about, literally. Like, they don't even know what critical race theory is to begin with.
We're almost 6 minutes into this, and he hasn't mentioned critical race theory once. He's mad about an arts festival.
He got slightly eaten up by our piss breaks. But he did mention it once just after he mentioned Trump. But he didn't link it to any of the things he showed us. So he just
said Trump mentioned it. Yeah, Trump mentioned it. And again, why the fuck are you talking about stuff that's happening in America, Carl? It's nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
Shut up. He contradicts himself within his own video. Sargon's Law.
Exactly. It's okay for you to make statements on stuff, but not other people. Anyway.
Exploring interesting new cultures. This feels like there's a very, very significant moral dimension.
No, it's not new cultures. It's actually people. Sorry. It's not exploring interesting new cultures. They're Welsh. This is their culture. These people are Welsh residents, citizens. They pay their taxes. They grow up there. They perform. They are part of the national sports teams. So it's not like going to a foreign land. These are your neighbors. You racist fuck.
Indeed.
Can't exactly point to the Welsh plantations and say, well, look at these Welsh slave owners whipping their black slaves in the field. It used to be really bad for the...
Well, actually, there are estates from people like that in Wales. A lot of the great manors of England, Wales and Scotland and indeed Ireland were former slave owners. Now, yes, they didn't have plantations here because it wasn't allowed.
They just profited from it.
Yeah, but people came back.
Their blood money.
And they actually brought black people with them. There's a couple of fantastic things you should look up of bringing back like slaves that they were close to who from the Caribbean. They'd go out, make their money, come back, buy an estate, and they'd often bring like a slave boy with them who was like their personal attendant, and the slave wouldn't realise for ages that they weren't a slave anymore because as soon as they stepped on English soil they were free.
Yeah, but they weren't told.
Yeah, they weren't told, and actually bizarrely many of them decided to stay because their options were either stay and be a paid hand or homelessness in a land you're not familiar with. So they were kind of still stuck, really, but at least
because they were taken by the white guys.
Paid now, and they were technically free. So you know. But yeah, so there are stories like that, and yeah, that exists in Wales too. That's why the names like Williams and Jones are very popular in black communities in America to this day, because they were owned by the Williams or Jones family, which are very traditionally Welsh surnames.
Yeah. So basically what Carl's saying is unless your country actively engaged in the brutal act of slavery, you can't legitimately celebrate your own cultural traditions in Britain.
Yes,
unless he approved.
And I don't mind, but these fucking patriot cunts seem to forget that without the, say, 2.5 million standing army, largest ever all-volunteer army from India, Britain wouldn't have won that war. Without the contribution of those from the Caribbean and Guyana in South America, we would have found it much more difficult. Without the black privates that joined us from America, we would have found it a lot more difficult to have won that war. People of colour made a very, very significant contribution to the fact that you and I aren't speaking German, Carl.
Yeah, and let's talk about, I'm sure you know about this as a history expert, or at least aficionado, Kevin. You want to remind people what the citizenship rules were when a British white man had a child with a non-white, non-British woman, the status of that child's citizenship under British law?
I'm not sure. What do you refer to?
Basically, you could, if your dad was British and your mom wasn't, you couldn't be British. You didn't automatically get British citizenship.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It was passed.
So they basically, so all of those families were basically considered, they were denying, it was a racial test or a racial exclusion citizenship policy in order to keep Britain white.
Yeah.
So had people actually been able to exercise their rights as British citizens through their father, there would have been a lot more migration, which is why they didn't want it to happen.
Indeed. Yeah. And we're still doing this to this day. Anyone who looks into, and I advise that if you're a person in America who's interested in racial justice and maybe all things British, look into the Windrush scandal. That for me shows the base level of racist filth that exists even in the upper echelons of the British government to this day. People who came here to rebuild after the Second World War have been kicked out because they're black, basically.
Yeah.
So the contribution black people, or BAME people have made to Britain is fucking vast. And he's just wrong. Like, he claims to know about history, but there were Welsh. Many of the great manors of Wales were built on the backs of money from sugar plantations in Jamaica for instance.
Yeah, and they just made it impossible for people to get British citizenship through their fathers or through their family.
Indeed. Yeah, because obviously white slave owners were, content warning here, raping slaves. It's a common story across all of the Americas, frankly, and they were denied citizenship on that basis. If you were white, you were fine.
Bing, bing.
Anyway.
The blacks here in Wales, because that was not true. But Black History Month has become something that the establishment in this country are treating as if this is a long-standing British tradition, just like, Last Night of the Proms or something like that. This is something that...
How long do you think Last Night of the Proms has been going? Look, it's been going quite a while, but it's not like this didn't exist back in
centuries.
The Henry VIII or something, Carl.
No. He's so offended because non-white cultures, non-white British people are celebrating their basic human rights and dignity. It's so offensive to him.
I was a bit old. 1895 was the first. Okay.
I'm sure there have been more black people in Britain longer than 1895.
Oh, gotcha. Well, the stories I told you about the people bringing back slaves that were freed, that was hundreds of years before that.
Well, even if you looked at it, wasn't that the thing that Paul Joseph Watson freaked out about, that there were black people in Britain during Roman times?
During Roman times, yeah.
Yeah.
Not just that, but it was found at the time that that program was set. Someone actually did the research on this. The time at which the program was initially set to begin, the governor of Britain, I forget his name exactly, but he was from a place called Leptis Magna, which is the modern day Libya. Britain was being run by an African. Literally.
Yeah. But all the Romans cared about was whether or not you were Roman.
Yeah, there were two races in the world: Roman citizens and barbarians.
That was it.
Literally, to the point where there are two Roman emperors, not Caesars. That's a different thing technically. There were two Roman emperors who we think were black, but we're not entirely sure because the descriptions don't mention race ever, as we understand
There's some
race.
artwork
because their fucking whole basis of race wouldn't make
social
any
construct
sense to them. You could have a black person who was a Roman citizen. Even an ex-slave who'd become a Roman citizen who was black, who would be righteous and upstanding and a Roman citizen entitled to all that Rome offered, and you could have a white German, the whitest motherfucker you've ever seen, who was a barbarian.
Yep. Yeah, Paul of Tarsus bought it Roman citizenship.
Yeah, there were loads of people. There were people, like I say, you could work up from slave to citizen. It wasn't very common, but it happened. Yeah. And you could lose citizenship as well. Again, regardless of what skin colour you had, because that wasn't relevant.
But Carl, is like the fact that people are now actually, there's like I see the thing I think too is it's about, in feminist theory there's this idea of critical mass when it comes to representation, specifically when it talks about women or say white women.
Critical mass.
In government, that if you only have like one or two women, there isn't enough of them to kind of like force a change. There's more pressure on them to go along and get along and be sort of, institutional, become part of the institution. But if you get, when they say usually it's like about 25, 30%, you can have your own, you start to have enough of a voice to be able to impact things, to change the structures and to change the way that things are done that are disadvantageous to you or biased against you. For instance, the fact that they didn't have women's toilets in the Senate until I think the 1990s. Because there just weren't enough women to kind of warrant the cost of the construction.
So they're just pissing buckets?
They would have to go to a different part of the Senate.
They'd have to
and use the
walk
public
to the
bathroom.
other side of the building.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And now you've got people in Britain who are like mainstreaming. They are sports heroes. They are on TV. They are actors, they're community leaders. They're leaders of churches. And they want to talk about their backgrounds. And it's happening now. And Carl's like, oh, this is a new thing. It's like, well, no, those people have always existed. It's just that now there's enough sort of like a cluster, is sort of a critical mass where they have influence in media, influence and consumer influence and cultural influence. And they're saying, hey, we want to celebrate us. because all we see all the time, 24/7, is white British guys mostly, and some British white women.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
fair enough.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to rant
It makes
there.
Britain Britain. It wouldn't be Britain without it. And you get all of the sort of supermarkets. This was back in July, where Sainsbury's decided to get woke. We've been taking Sainsbury's as just a
Mad
supermarket.
about something from fucking July.
Kill me. Fucking kill me.
People, oh my God, all the problems in Britain right now, and he's mad about a tweet from July.
Yeah, from Sainsbury. I mean, who cares? Yeah, look, even
Exactly.
people on the left are like, yeah, this kind of corporate pretend wokeness stuff is irrelevant. Why would anyone care?
Corporate social responsibility.
Yeah, it's pablum. Everyone knows. Why are you taking
This is
it seriously?
capitalism, Carl.
Yeah.
This is capitalism for you. You got a problem with it?
They want, well, not just people of colour, but white people who don't like racism, which is like a lot of people, normal people, to spend money at their stores. That's why they're doing this. They don't really give a. It's not like they're there going, how can we further the agenda of cultural Marxisms?
How can we piss off like the 90+% of white people in Wales? Oh, that's it. No, that's not why they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing it because they think they're gonna attract positive corporate reputation, and then people will want to shop there, or they'll feel virtuous when they go and shop there.
And trust me,
right?
having Lawrence Fox against you is generally considered a good idea.
Yes.
Like they've not hurt themselves by this. This will actually prove it, because Lawrence Fox then upped it by saying that the people who were against him were pedophiles, which is illegal. So
And he's not. Yeah, Carl's not complaining about that. I see.
No, because Carl doesn't care about any of that. Carl actually was pimping out Lawrence Fox's new political party the other day.
He's looking for some other sucker to let them run under his banner.
There were a couple of different ones, but he refused to endorse a thing called Patriotic Alternative, because they were founded at least in part by the guy called Mark Collette, who was former BNP. He doesn't want to endorse Nazis, and I was like, really? That's a change of policy.
Because you do.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the things that I noticed when Carl was on Destiny's channel and they were talking. So when we saw that Milo got milkshaked, we were a little bit like, is that really Milo? Because normally he would get, attention for this and coverage and stuff. But in that Destiny talk, Carl mentioned that, Milo definitely came to his events. So can confirm Milo got milkshaked.
Yeah. Well, people are having a chat about historical people of colour in Britain. Queen Victoria had a, was he an Indian, I think? Who was like one of her main advisors. Hang on. Queen Victoria. Was he black? Not Queen Victoria, you twat. Queen Victoria, black advisor, I think.
Butler.
Or was he a butler or whatever? Okay.
Let me say.
Really given an orphan African. John Conroy, there he is. No, that's not him. John Brown? No, that's not the kind of brown person I was looking for.
Actually hit the advisor with the OR.
Oh, OR, I've got it ER. Okay. There was like an Indian guy, I'm sure it was. The King of the Blacks. What? Woo, what?
No idea.
No, inside Queen Victoria's troubled relationships. Was he Indian?
Not with her kids.
Oh, there was definitely
he was
a person of colour, Indian. There he is. Mohammed Abdul Karim, also known as Munshi, was an Indian attendant of Queen Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
He served during the final 14 years of her reign, gaining her material affection over that time.
Maternal.
Yeah.
But probably material too.
Oh, maternal. Apologies. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. He lived probably pretty well. He lived with the
If
Queen.
he was living in, yeah.
So look, this motherfucker. That's not Hunky McCrackerface. Okay, and
There have been people of color,
ear of the
in
Queen.
government.
Yeah, he died in 1901. So only just after the proms were founded. We've learned some things today, haven't
Yes,
we?
and he was there before the proms.
He
or
was
about
there
the same
exactly.
time.
That motherfucker was there before the proms, Carl. So
Yes.
behave yourself. Yeah, Indian history is British history.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm sure a lot of Indians would have preferred that not to be the case.
Yes. Yeah.
But there we go.
Given
Again,
a choice,
there's nothing
no.
we can do about it now. I mean, we could apologise and try and make amends, maybe, but
That's exactly what we should be doing.
you can't.
Sorting
you
out the
can't
shit that we inherited
go
from our
back in
racist
change it.
forefathers and foremothers.
Until me and Kristi get together and invent a time machine. But then
Ooh,
we're
that'd be
probably going to
yeah.
go around and just swear at famous people from the past.
We're gonna make sure Carl's mom and
wanker.
we're gonna go make sure Carl's mom and dad never meet.
Oh no! No. Carl goes with Hitler to the evil baby orphanage. We've talked about this. By the way, that's the concept. People do that thought experiment about would you kill baby Hitler, and it's like,
right.
he's
Yes.
going to be Hitler, so it's bad, but he hasn't done anything. Then you're just killing an innocent baby. So the solution is evil baby orphanage. Where you steal the baby. It's still not nice, but the baby's alive, and you raise it away from the potential for doing what they were going to do.
Oh yeah,
So
I like that idea.
Baby Mao and baby Hitler and shit, and just
Baby Sargon.
Baby Sargon. What a triumvirate that is!
It's kidnapping in the interest of humanity, really.
Yeah, exactly. It's not ideal, but you tell me a better option. Because essentially, what you're saying is, yes, I would shoot a baby in the face.
Yeah, you're
That
right.
doesn't
I can
feel
see.
Good. I mean, it's Hitler, but it's not really Hitler. It's a baby.
Yeah, there are more ways to change the timeline.
Indeed.
There,
Indeed.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah. Anyway, have we covered baby murder? Good. Okay.
A couple times, unfortunately.
Markets.
Oh God, yeah. Oh fuck's sake. Okay, yeah. Okay, never mind.
They're merchants.
episode.
They sell us things. They're not people we look to for moral guidance. They're people we look to when we want cheap food. But okay,
Yeah.
sorry, Sainsbury's. We've been taking the time to listen to our black colleagues and think about how we can affect change. Now is the time to stand up and take action. We're totally committed to equal and fair opportunity for all and making Sainsbury's a much more diverse and inclusive place to work and shop. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Just lower the prices
why are you
of the
making
things
a
you're
video?
selling. That's what we care.
Yeah, why are you going back months to a thing, Carl?
Also, here's an idea, because you love capitalism so much. When you give your employees meaningless things to, enjoy their work, then you don't have to pay them more, right? You like that, right, Carl? I mean, they could just raise everybody's wages. But no, let's just have a conversation about how we can, have less racism in our stores.
Let's just clap for them.
Yeah.
Every Thursday we'll just clap for them and then shit on them and not give them a pay raise and fire them.
Yeah. That's your system, Carl.
Yeah.
So you're getting mad at the opiate of capitalism, which is corporate social responsibility, which is virtue signaling.
Yeah, I mean, that is literally virtue signaling because they don't give a fuck. They just want to make money. If they could make more money by saying, I don't know, death to the Jews or something, they'd do that.
Yeah, because capitalism doesn't care, Carl. Yeah. I know you want to be all outraged, but the fact is that this is the morality of capitalism. It goes where the market is.
And we know that
you
that's
don't
true,
like it,
by the way.
Be a socialist.
I'm not saying Sainsbury specifically, but we know that's true because when in Nazi Germany, for instance, it was more profitable to say death to the Jews because if you didn't, you got fucking bricked. Your windows got smashed and you got burnt down. They did it.
Yeah.
Pretty huge quantities of the population did it.
Yeah. So your real critique here, Carl, is not
we don't care about your moral stances. Only people on Twitter
that sounds like
care about Sainsbury's.
To me, Kristi. And as we know, it's only Joe Biden that's going to do communism. So.
Oh yeah, he's the only one.
In his first 100 days, he's going to institute a Marxist government. So. And we know
because Antifa and BLM are going to come in and run everything.
And we know that because Michelle Bachmann said it, and she
or
wouldn't say
Antifa.
It. Yeah.
Yes. Antifa. Da, 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 da. Antifa.
Anyway.
Moral stances. Maybe you shouldn't use Twitter. Maybe you shouldn't have it. Maybe none of the people who work at Sainsbury's. Maybe you should be
This is the guy who's banned from Twitter.
Yeah, what? Is he on about his 20th burner account now?
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't be on Twitter.
Yeah,
Twitter have given
Carl.
you plenty of opportunity. They've given you some pretty clear signals that they don't want you there.
Yep. Why don't you fuck off of Twitter?
Yeah. Anyway.
At least at a certain managerial level, so you don't start getting these batty ideas in your head and thinking, oh yeah, critical race theory, that's a good way of looking at the world.
This has got nothing to do with critical race theory. Nothing.
I know what response video I'm going to make for this now. I mean, I'm waiting to see if he actually discusses critical race theory. But this is not critical race theory. This is just like diversity and not being racist.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. It's just not being racist, Carl.
Without critical race theory.
Yes.
This is
yes, it would.
Is nothing, Carl. Nothing.
isn't it? Maybe we'll adopt that too, because for some reason, raising racial consciousness is desirable for Sainsbury's and for Wales. I mean, I'm so glad. If I
didn't even know there were different races within the Wales. Wales, because that's with a H.
Yeah.
Wales. Carl, what are you even complaining about now? I don't even know what he's saying.
He's literally just shouting at the clouds.
He is. Old man shouts at clouds, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even know what he's talking about at this point.
For any Welsh people watching, guys, what the fuck? Race Council Cymru. Have you been conquered by the Nazis? Because it looks like you've been conquered by the Nazis.
That's why you're smiling.
Yeah, you wish that was the case. You know, it'd be good for you, Carl, if you actually read the website instead of just putting it up.
Yeah.
You know, you managed to go through and realize it's only an arts festival.
But I'm glad he cropped it really well. Because I agree, Black Lives Matter. It's true.
And matter, even.
No, he's cropped it correctly, so it's Black Lives
Yeah.
Matter. It's fine.
Mm.
Yeah. And that's I don't know what digits those are supposed to be. He's cropped it superbly well. He's very professional. He literally, because I did a thing on my channel a couple of weeks ago, he did a fucking breakdown of Umberto Eco's fascism and the 14 points of fascism, and it was dog shit, obviously. And brilliantly, he hadn't even got the 14 points from Eco. He got it from an article where someone had like done a shortened, dumbed down version of it for like internet, shareability or whatever.
Yeah.
And even then, he managed to fuck all of it up, and he was just, he was fucking dreadful. What I was going to say, he cropped it really badly. So even the summed up sentences, the final words of each line got cut off. So I was like, I don't even know what this person has written and whether that's a good summation of the actual article, which I had and showed everyone, like, so you could actually see what Echo wrote.
Yes. Why do that? Why think ahead? By the way, Harvest in the chat says, if I was Welsh, actually it should be if I were Welsh. But anyway, if I was Welsh, it's true.
It is. That is true, yes. But to be fair, you don't know that person isn't speaking a second or third language or something, Kristi.
Well, I'm just being helpful. Actually, if they speak a second language, they'll appreciate it more.
Yeah, you fucking dumb foreigners.
If I was Welsh, I'd tell him to mind his own fucking business.
Yeah, Carl.
Stop lecturing, English prick.
Yeah, what the people of Wales really love is smug English wankers telling them what to do. They fucking love that. Yeah, absolutely. Like
if
you know,
I were,
in America,
of course,
small town Southern America, they love like New York big shots going down there and muscling on their territory and telling them how they're all hicks. I love it. Fucking love it.
Yeah, exactly. So Haruka, if I were, it does make sense because if you say if I was, that's a thing that actually existed in the past. But when you're doing a hypothetical, then it's if I were, not if I was. Because if you was, then you was. But if you weren't, then you were.
Hang on, is it if I was a rich man or if I were?
It should be. It is if I was a rich man, but it should be if I were a rich man. Yeah.
If I was a rich man.
I did get. I got complimented on my use of the subjunctive, so thank you very much.
If I was a wealthy man. I could do that.
Musical Nights by Kevin.
Exactly. Mainly sort of mainstream normie theatre, to be honest.
So yeah, let's have the English prick talk down to the Welsh people some more. Let's have that.
Welsh, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Let me tell you how you should live your life. Oh wait, that's what we always have been doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's worked out really well for you in the centuries.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Because we have also been conquered by the Nazis. But anyway, Sainsbury's has also been conquered by the Nazis.
Sainsbury's has been conquered by the Nazis.
I'm going to do a reduced version of this video. Sainsbury's been conquered by the Nazis. Definitely going to make it.
Well, we need to do some Sainsbury's D-Day landings then, clearly. It's the only way of doing it.
I need to liberate my black cranberry squash, or no, black currant squash. Yeah. I do like the Sainsbury brand owned black currant squash.
I'm not looking forward to the aisle by aisle fighting though. Oh, it'll be devastating combat.
So if I ever kip out on your couch or something, or I come and stay at your house, Kevin, I'm going to need Sainsbury's blackcurrant squash. I'm going to need caramel.
Well, I don't know if I'll be allowed because apparently
McVitie's.
Sainsbury's are only serving black people now, aren't they? I think that's
It's
that's what Carl just told us.
He feels like that's happening.
Yeah,
I
exactly,
feel.
Yeah. And and I'm a scared white person who's too terrified to test it, just in case they arrest me.
Right.
For being white. I think that's the message.
Sainsbury cops. The Sainsbury cops
are going to arrest me for being a little bit too white.
And in aisle 4.
Yeah, exactly.
You're being too white in aisle 4.
Exactly. Yeah. Shopping while white. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, oh God, we're never going to get through this.
Nazis.
Probably
so
not.
They will. They say right now only 8% of our senior leaders are from ethnic minority backgrounds. We know that black people are underrepresented within that group. This is not good enough. It's time for change, and we commit to change. Okay, we'll just fire a bunch of the white people then.
God, Carl.
Yeah,
I thought you believed in meritocracy.
Fire all of them and only hire black people, because that would annoy Carl. Sainsbury's, I will shop nowhere else ever again. I will only shop at Sainsbury's if you fire all the white people just to annoy this cunt. I promise you.
I'm sure the cost-benefit analysis on that is amazing for them.
Yeah, because well, to be honest, I don't know that my occasional buying of bread and orange juice will keep
you there. Probably not. Probably not. But all the white people will be gone, so their labor costs have really gone down.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, Carl claims to care about meritocracy and sort of individualism, right? Well, he claims to.
Yeah.
And the fact is that racism stops talented people from going forward. And so if you want to look at it, they're underrepresented because of racism, not because they're not qualified or talented or they couldn't be good for the company. So you should actually be against racism as being a distorting impact on a true meritocracy.
Order on. Thank you, Sam, in the chat. Order online, they'll never know. I wasn't being serious, but thank you. Thank you for the suggestion. I always appreciate practical solutions to problems. Even
from the
if
chat.
Made up problems that I don't believe are real. But thank you.
Carl has a lot of made up problems that aren't real too. So you're just being fair there.
Yeah, true.
Just say, well, listen, Jim, Patty, Mark, you guys are white, so you just got to go. We're going to hire black people in your place.
Yeah.
And, that would be illegal, wouldn't it? You're not allowed to do that because it turns out that's racism.
So is not hiring or promoting black people. That's racism.
But Carl, they're not suggesting they're going to do that.
No,
literally, again, this is something you have invented in your own head, where Julie, Mark, and fucking whoever are going to get fired for being white, and at no point have Sainsbury's ever indicated that that's what their plan is.
Yep, you're getting mad at your own imagination.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It is.
But then again, they have been taken over by the Nazis, so because like I say, I only listened to the first minute or something. And I knew it was going to be good when he was wanking on about Plaid Cymru. Fucking hell. Anyway,
Plaid Cymru.
So that's why they don't like the English, and I get it. What was I going to fucking say? Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. I was not expecting the line Sainsbury's have been taken over by the Nazis to pop up. But that's the world.
That apparently is critical race theory.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Critical race theory means Sainsbury's are taken over by Nazis? Okay. I mean, that's probably going to come as quite a shock to all those professors, I think. They actually teach, sociology and stuff and know what the fuck they're talking about. But Carl,
actually studying.
Big brain Carl over here is going to tell them all how it really is.
Mm-hmm. Nazis.
Choosing and
Forget the moon
deciding
Nazis.
Yeah, exactly. It's the Sainsbury's now.
The Sainsbury Nazis.
Well, have you ever taken a photograph from above on a Sainsbury shop? They're all shaped like swastikas.
That's gay. Ooh,
confirmed.
That's a reference to Iron Sky.
Iron Sky, yeah. Yeah, so please don't sue me, Sainsbury's. I know that's not actually true. Yeah.
Fate and your company on the basis of their race is racism. And so why would it not be that hiring people, looking at people and go, right, race, no, white, black, right, yeah, okay, you can have three of you.
Okay.
Yeah, except we know Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, again, that's not what they're doing, Carl.
No, but you know what does happen is that when they do experiments and they send off the exact same CV with a white-sounding name and an African-sounding name, the white person gets called in for an interview. That's racism, Carl.
Hey, Javi raided. Hello to Javi's Raiders. Javi's awesome.
Hello.
Go and subscribe to Javi and, Canedo de Izquierdas. But it now translates into the English, which is a leftist loudmouth on YouTube. And yeah, he's good folk. Anyway, so yeah, hello to Javi's people. You can stick around if you want to. We're laughing at a racist for being racist.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
did you know, dear Raiders, that Sainsbury's has been taken over by the Nazis? That's a fact.
Your mic's gone quiet again.
That's a fact. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Get closer.
Move closer. Hang on, what is it?
Or turn your volume up now. I don't know which one it is.
Go to properties. Why is it doing this?
Yep. I don't know.
Real? No, I don't need that. Hang on. Okay. Hello. No, that's still.
Pretty soft.
That's what she said.
I walked into that one. Yeah, I'm just going to work with various webcams now, Kevin's. His sound might sound a little bit odd if he speaks, but we're getting there.
Well, yeah, because normally my fucking voice is absolutely stellar. Why is it?
Yeah.
Why is it doing that? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Hang on.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Hello.
The tapping is good. Oh, gosh. Sorry, everyone. Apologies.
It just randomly drops out for no fucking reason. Oh, I don't care.
I don't know.
Bollocks to it.
All right, we're going. Yeah.
Yeah, hello Raiders. We're making a really good impression on you now. They've all fucked off. Jesus. I'm sure they have.
Because you're a whitey. You know, like, how is this not racism? That
You're a
sounds
whitey.
massive
You're a
amounts of
whitey.
racism to me.
And so,
but that's it. This is where
He's getting mad at something again. He's just getting mad at something he invented.
The leadership in Wales.
Well, clearly, the only reason that I'm not the CEO of Sainsbury's is because I'm white, and they're only hiring black people. That can be. I mean, I haven't applied for that position, but that's irrelevant. Now we know the real reason.
Yeah, Carl invents this whole thing where he decides he's going to purge all the white people from Sainsbury's, and then he gets mad because it's racism in his mind.
In his fucking head. All in his head.
Oh, what a prick. Okay.
Yes.
Are doing. They're sat there going, oh, yeah, race. That's what we need to be worried about. Like, Christ, man. We will train our 250 senior leaders and board in understanding and fluently talking about race and ethnicity. Why? Why does the
why would you want non-white people to feel comfortable in your business?
Versed in critical race theory and
it's Carl. Where does it say critical race theory there?
Doesn't.
It doesn't. You're full of shit, mate.
All it's mentioning there is that, hey, you know what? Don't make jokes about somebody's skin color and think that you're being friendly.
Yeah, maybe just maybe don't be racist.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because there's a comedian whose name is very long and I can't remember, but apparently there was an attempt by the post office for Black History Month. They were going to make the post boxes black.
Oh no!
I might have to find that somewhere in my bookmarks. Yeah, and that was going to be like, hey, we're in solidarity with BLM. And you're like,
no.
That's the kind of thing that you need to be trained on, because if you've grown up in a white bubble, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, right? That's not as bad as the 12 years a slave thing that we did earlier.
No.
That was for those hello Raiders. For those who missed that, there was a gym company, a gymnasium brand chain company, who did a special promotion called 12 Years a Slave, where their training regimen was difficult, and so was slavery, to celebrate Black History Month. Like, fucking hell, man.
Fucking believe that.
That's mental. That's really fucking bad.
Yeah. And that's the kind of training people need, because they don't know any better, because they've existed in a white supremacist bubble.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, I'm just taking the piss, mate. Well, you're being racist and you're making me feel unwanted and I'm a lesser human being than you.
Which is why we need to eradicate white people in Minecraft. Only in Minecraft, though.
Yeah.
God, I'm skirting
All right.
that line. I'm fucking skirting that line.
Terms
Terms of service are going
eventually.
to fuck me senseless. Anyway.
Yep.
Anyway.
Understanding different races. Why does that need to be the case?
Well, because you know there are things called human resources departments, Carl.
Mm-hmm. And they don't want to get sued because people are saying racist shit because they don't know any better.
Yeah, like maybe they might think that running a promotion called, I don't know, 12 Years a Slave,
Mm-hmm.
12 tins of
Is showing solidarity.
12 tins of lasagna or whatever. Like just some weird crazy shit like that, which would be really bad. Maybe don't do that.
Yep.
Because lasagna doesn't come in tins. What am I talking about? I live on hate.
Hate of Nazis.
I take the slogan "Eat the rich" literally.
Quietly.
It's the only ethical consumption under capitalism. I'm telling you.
We will triple our investments in the development of our ethnic minority colleagues. Right, okay. So we've got corporate trading coming up. It turns out Abdul and Odubalu are going to get.
Oh my god! Oh my god, Carl! Oh my god, Carl!
Fucking hell, man!
Seriously.
Oh. Well, you couldn't even think of like a black name. Jamal.
No.
Just say Jamal.
Yeah.
Or Dave, because some of them are called
Yeah.
Dave.
Jesus, what a fucking racist this guy is.
And as they're Welsh, some of them are probably called like Reese. Something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, hang on, I've got to go back to hear that again. That's amazing.
Coming up.
I'm just stumbled.
It turns out Abdul and Odubalu are going to get 3 times as much money for their training as Mark and Frank are. Why? Because they're not white.
God.
This is just the reason.
God.
That's the only reason given. It's just that they're not.
You okay?
I can't get.
You're losing it.
I hope there is someone called Abdubawalu or something. That'd be amazing. If there is, give us a call. I'll have you on the show. For no fucking reason. I forgot. I didn't even listen to what he was saying. Who cares? He gives a fuck at this point. Something about training or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Not white. And you white guys, you don't need anything more. Listen, check your fucking privilege. What kind of hell world is being created here?
Carl, as long as
It's
it's
a
annoying,
hell world.
as long as it's annoying you, I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Keep going.
Yeah. Also, lovely still shot there.
Yes.
His face appears to be sucking itself into a vortex.
There you go. There's a screenshot for this video.
Yeah.
Complete an ethnicity pay gap review and publish the results of our actions this year. Well, you know what? I think maybe you have to, Sainsbury's, because until now, I didn't think Sainsbury's was being run by a bunch of racists. But now you're...
What? No.
Now that you're trying...
But Carl, they're literally saying that it's potentially a fact, because it is across society in large, that people of colour get paid less for doing the same job.
Yep.
Or what they call job of equivalent value. So it's not always literally exactly the same job, but that pay grade or whatever, they get paid less, and that's wrong.
Yep.
So actually, yeah, they might be being run by indirectly racist people who are trying to be not indirectly racist anymore. But you think that means the Nazis have won?
Stopping or enhancing meritocracy means the Nazis win, Kevin.
Well, if only we need
Actually,
Churchill, we'll fight them on the peaches. That is a quality history / Sainsbury's Nazi joke.
Great, love it.
Anyway.
You're literally saying, well, we're running Sainsbury's because we're as a bunch of racists, so we're going to have to start racially investing in things. It's like, right, okay, maybe
In
we should do that.
redressing
Maybe
racism?
any of the people
Yeah.
who are going around doing racist things should be fucking fired. What do you think, Sainsbury's? What do you think? Who's responsible for these pay gaps? Whoever's responsible for setting the wages of these people, fire them if you find a gap.
Well, hang on, but what about if they're white, Carl? Are you allowed to fire them then? Also,
Fire the white
again,
people.
this is such a typical like boomer conservative thing. It's all an individual act. People who set fucking wages are literally just trying to set them as low as they can because that's their job. They don't.
Yeah.
They're not intentionally, or well, most of the time, not intentionally, going around saying, "Well, they're black, therefore I'm going to pay them less." It's just that's how it works out because of like implicit bias and things like that.
Exactly, which is why you need to be educated about your implicit biases so you can acknowledge them, recognize them, and overcome them.
Yeah.
By the way, I found the black post-up box thing if you want to swap over to me.
Yeah, hang on.
We'll take a break from Carl for a second.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. All right, let me share my
I
screen
need to
again.
go on to the screen.
Okay.
What are we doing?
All right.
Okay.
I think the volume should be fine.
Okay, who's this?
Now you're gonna make me minimize his thing again. It's Munya Chihuahua,
Okay.
I think. Okay.
I'm not going to
So
comment on the
listen-
fact that sounds like the dog.
All right.
I'm not going to
good.
do it.
All right. Hitting play.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the only one in here.
Oh, that's the guy doing. Oh, okay.
Employee. So
We've
We've
looked at this guy's stuff before, haven't we?
yes, and
Yeah.
actually he's got one on the gym after this. I saw when I was
okay.
scrolling down,
Cool.
so we can watch that one too.
Okay, cool.
All right. Okay, so
afternoon, everyone. I'm the only one in here. Yes, because you are our only black employee. So you're a bit of a red herring. Well, black one. Now, here at Royal Mail, we take racism very seriously. You get me? So we thought for Black History Month, why not turn BLM into BLMAO? Yeah, have a bit of fun with it. So we are introducing 4 black post boxes. Oh my! Think of all
actually
the
did
black
that?
icons with post in their name.
They
I
actually
think so.
painted a. I thought this was part of the comedy skit. They actually.
I think they actually did it. Yeah, because he
hang
does
on.
like spook. Yeah.
So they blackfaced a post box. They Justin Trudeau'd a fucking post box.
With Black History Month 2020 on it.
Oh, well, racism's over.
Yeah,
We
that's
won.
it. Go home now.
Well, thankfully, there's an off license near to that, so we can go and get pissed, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's 4 black post boxes. That's, yeah. Yeah, they're because but white people don't need to be trained on how to be racially sensitive or understand how to talk
Well,
about these issues
Did-
without being. Yeah.
if you post into the black post boxes, do you have to pay them slightly less as well?
See what you did there. All right, hitting play.
Post boxes. Oh my! Think of all the black icons with post in their name. Post Malone. I could go on.
God.
But how does this do anything?
So good, isn't he?
That is good. I'm trying to think of some now. There's got to be one called like Mailey or something like that. I don't know. I'll think of
All
it.
right. Okay.
But how does this do anything for us? Well, the next time you're off to post a letter to your friends in prison, you see the post box and you go, hey, that looks like one of my friends. Yeah, because I've got loads of 3-foot mates shaped like post boxes. What about that?
What?
Post Cardi B.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Martin Luther Post.
Oh, Jesus.
The chat is having a great time with this now.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
All right, here we go.
Loads of 3-foot mates shaped like post boxes. What about that one who won the boxing? Listen, Roy, this is just a bad idea. It doesn't mean anything. It's just tokenistic. Okay, don't know what that means because I don't speak Yoruba. But plan B. You've heard about Postman Pat. What about Postman Brap? Postman Brap in black and white whap.
Postman Brap. That's amazing. For Americans, you probably don't get that joke.
No, Postman Pat, they probably don't know.
Postman Pat was a kids' TV show about, well, it was a white, postman. It was fucking dreadful. But but Postman Brap is genius. I love it.
We made Postman Brap trend
No, seriously.
back in the end of September. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's amazing. Well done.
Yeah.
There have been
All right.
shitter things trending. Yesterday you
Definitely.
had gasping and Mussolini
Yes.
together, Okay, what do you do there?
Yeah.
I mean, Trump's having a normal one, clearly.
Yeah, that's just America 2020 these days. All right, so this was the one I saw as I was scrolling down to the Postman Brap episode. All right, here we go.
Just gonna drop that knee. A couple of BLM lunges. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a PT here at Pure Gym Luton. We've been catching a lot of stray bullets over that 12 years of slave workout. But don't worry, we've got a range of other equipment and workouts to help you master your fitness this Black History Month. Looking to improve stamina before your next police chase? Hop onto one of our treadmills. They're treadmills with built-in police sirens and stop and search sound effects. Guaranteed to help you become a faster Rasta. Trying to get
a faster Rasta. So I nearly died when the police chase thing because I was trying to swallow the thing, and then faster Rasta. That's because I mean, black people should take that up. Faster Rasta sounds amazing.
You've got to follow him on Twitter. He's really good.
Okay, well.
All right. Yeah. I'll back it up a little bit.
And stop and search sound effects, guaranteed to help you become a faster Rasta. Trying to get those hips nice and loose for your 7 baby mamas? Forget Zumba, we do Django Tango, a dynamic dance class where instead of music, we use the sound of gunshots to help you duck and dodge your way to looser limbs. Do you wish cardio was a bit more inclusive? Try out Cross Bamer. It's a cross trainer with BAME-friendly features. With 60-inch rims, Air Force One foot pedals, and cup holders for your magnums, the only thing history about this month will be your double chins. Sign up today, you'll get one of these cozy, comfy cotton white hoodies for free. Getting fit has never been so lit. Black power.
That was only slightly worse than the actual thing they produced, though.
Oh, well, I think, yeah.
It would have been funny if they'd said faster Rasta.
Oh, well, yeah, so you like the faster Rasta. That one's definitely sticking out for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, faster Rasta's legendary activity. Lovely stuff.
All right. We needed a Carl break, so I gave us one.
Yeah.
Back to you. Kev.
Hang on. No, that's... what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
It's so complicated. Technology.
It is. I've got tabs and things. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway. So
Carl is
from
jerk off face.
a funny Englishman to a not funny Englishman.
Yes.
Because you're going to find
way more
that
talented.
must be
And
racism. But anyway, we're going to make sure all head office...
Note that the funny Englishman was a black dude, because
yeah,
black history.
He's way more talented
Black history
than
is
Carl.
a part of British history, part of English history. Carl. Just saying, bro.
Management roles are advertised externally, giving us access to more black talent.
Wow, is that what he's laughing at, really?
So
No, it means, Carl, if they don't have enough white people internally, if they advertise externally, it gives black people from outside, who will be more numerous, just on the basis that they've got more percentage of the population than in Sainsbury's.
Yep.
That's a way they can try and bridge that gap. And again, it's all like corporate speak stuff. Who knows if they're going to do any of this? But I mean, this is so harmless.
Again, July. He's mad about a tweet from July.
Look, if this what the Nazis actually did, I don't think they'd be remembered as negatively.
Probably not. Yeah. Just saying.
Like a weird fetishization. Imagine like black talent. That Sainsbury's is on the prowl for black talent.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
What? What? They should just go for untalented people?
I don't think he thinks there is black talent. I think that's what he's laughing at.
Which is ironic, because we just watched some.
Yes,
So,
much funnier than you, Carl.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be honest, Carl, you're not making the argument for white talent here.
Nope, not at all.
You're not.
Actually, the opposite.
As a racial grouping, Carl, you are not putting our best foot forward. Nope,
you're doing our culture harm.
Our culture, please, North American.
White people.
Let's European. Europeanness.
Yes.
I am a pianist, yeah.
Okay, all right. That's weird. That's just weird. Really, really weird. And then we get...
Just saying it's weird isn't like anything, Carl. That's not an argument. It's nothing.
It's like his feelings. He feels like this is something.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, again, to quote you back at yourself, Carl, I don't care.
Yep. Facts over feels, Carl.
This was back in July. And then we get to Black History Month in the UK. Sainsbury's, we are proud to celebrate Black History Month together with our black colleagues, customers and communities, and we will not tolerate racism. Oh, stunning and brave. Just, I salute you, Sainsbury's.
Just because you do tolerate racism.
Yeah,
and indeed
pretty much.
Participate in it.
And promote it on your channel here on YouTube.
Yeah. And also, like, just saying it's stunning and brave. Like, this is where, like, meme culture is so shallow.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't mean anything. That's not a criticism, Carl. That's
everything
it's
you
nothing.
don't like. Yeah, it's meaningless words. It's
Basically.
buzzwords.
Yeah.
Finally, someone was brave enough to come out and not tolerate racism. Thank God. We proudly represent and serve our diverse society, and anyone who doesn't want to shop with an inclusive retailer is welcome to shop elsewhere. That's the
Fuck off,
takeaway.
Carl.
Shop elsewhere. There are
Yep,
conditions
fuck off, Carl.
upon which the moralizing merchant has placed them allowing you to come into their.
Oh, wait, like people who don't want to make cakes for gay people that you defend.
Also, Carl, there's no qualifier here. It says, is welcome to. As in, they're not saying, if you're racist, you can't shop here. It's saying, if you're racist enough to not be okay with inclusivity, you can go elsewhere.
Yep. Inviting you to take your money elsewhere.
Yeah. They're literally not saying you can't shop there. They're
Yeah,
very
they're not
careful in their
testing people.
wording.
Yeah, they're not like, they don't have screeners at their front doors, Carl.
Well, they don't need to. It's like, you know, with the COVID, and they can point the thing at your head, and it takes you to... It's like that with racism.
What?
They can test...
The COVID?
No, you know the COVID gun thing, where it points a laser at your head and takes your temperature? And it's like a way of... if you pass that, you don't have COVID. You are not
you don't
symptomatic.
have a fever.
Yeah, you're not symptomatic of the thing. So it's like one of the initial tests they do as a quick way. Anyway, I was doing a joke about being able to do that with racism, where they just point a laser at your head.
Right.
But you didn't even get that. So, I mean, explaining a surreal joke is even worse than explaining a non-surreal joke. Because it doesn't make any sense.
We're getting by fine with masks and plexiglass here in Germany. We don't have to have lasers pointing at people's heads here.
Oh, okay.
At least not around where I am, for sure.
Well, yeah, but I think we like lasers. It's like a James Bond thing, I think. I think that's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Mr. Trump, I expect you to die.
A shop. It's like, well, look, you got to understand, Sainsbury's. Like, I just don't see you as a moral author, a moral legislator.
Like you are.
I don't take your moral statement seriously because, and I just want to be clear, you serve pedophiles. You serve murder.
That's a perfect picture for Carl.
You serve I mean, Carl, unless those people are walking in there actually diddling the children in the store, how would you even know that they I mean, presumably, just statistically, yes, they probably serve pedophiles. They've probably served murderers. All sorts of people.
This video is so shit.
But they're not saying we're okay with pedophilia. I mean, because there isn't an anti-pedophilia history month. So they don't need to make that statement.
Given his audience, there are probably pedophiles that watch his videos.
I would be very surprised, given his age of consent, it depends on the child rhetoric, if there weren't significant numbers of pedophiles in his audience. So
you're really not in a position to lecture Sainsbury's?
Yeah, Carl, you serve pedophiles. Just saying.
Yes, he does.
You serve rapists. You deal...
I wouldn't even serve rapists, Carl.
I know your call back to I wouldn't. Yep.
I'm saying that Carl trying to pull the moral high ground on being against rape is that ship has sailed.
Or abusing children. And thinking that puberty equals consent.
That ship has sailed, my friend.
Yep. All right, hit play.
You're not. I mean, you are so not on the moral fucking high ground. You're in a moral mine, Carl.
Mm-hmm.
You are at the coal face of immorality. That's actually quite poetic. I didn't know that was where it was going, but there we go.
With the very worst people in society on a daily basis, you are not in a position to then say, well, actually, one of these groups of bad people, we don't...
But again, Carl, oh, Jesus.
God.
They're saying racism's bad. They're not saying pedophilia is okay, though.
the thing is that what you're talking about, Carl, are crimes.
Yeah.
And this is a social injustice.
And
it's not illegal to be a racist, Carl, but the effects of racism are detrimental to people's lives, and they're trying to do something to fix it. Yeah. So to compare this to crimes just shows that you have no moral authority, and also we don't care about your moral outrage.
Indeed, yeah. That's again, Carl. You see, when you play the South Parkian, I'm cooler than cool, I don't care about your feelings shtick. When you get offended, and by the way, it looks a little bit like he's having a stroke.
Yeah, look at his face. Well, I was thinking it's like he smelled his own fart.
No, look, the right side of his face is sunk. Carl, can you lift your right arm above your shoulder? If not, I would call an ambulance. Anyway.
Smell burning toast.
Yeah, so, they don't test at the door for racism or pedophilia or anything, because how would you even do that? They literally can't help but serve some people who've done awful shit, because there's no way of filtering those people out.
Yeah, because I'm sure you've shopped there. They weren't able to filter you out and your shit. So
I hope you're talking about Carl, but you didn't specify.
Yeah. Sorry, I was talking about Carl there.
I was like, wow, Kristi, you are. We do
Carl,
jokes,
I'm sure.
That's rude. You're just being rude.
No. You to Carl. I'm looking at him on screen with his just fart huffing face.
Exactly. Yeah. So. Anyway, but they serve people who have, been milkshaked as well, which is poor form.
Right.
Then, where's your advocacy against paedophilia? Are you not against paedophilia? It sounds.
Oh, wait, but again, those are crimes, Carl.
Yeah.
They're fucking crimes. This false equivalence. Is this how desperate you are to do something to sound like outrage? Because what they're doing is completely reasonable and actually improves society in the long run. You know what's really what can lead to instability in a society is oppression and the discrimination and violence against one particular group.
Yeah.
That can cause domestic, unrest. And so, but if you have a very equal society where people are invested in the culture and their nationality, their citizenship, their identity, and they take pride in it, and they feel like they can get ahead, that's a more stable and more prosperous country.
Yep. Yeah.
Sounds like you're against racism, which is great. What about murder? Are you not against these things as well?
What are you talking about?
God, exactly.
Like you start from the moral baseline that these people are against, well, these companies are against criminality. I mean, they commit crimes, of course, but just because they oppose one thing doesn't mean they're okay with murder. You're a psychopath, Carl. What the fuck are you talking about? Sociopath.
It's a complete logical. It's a logical fallacy. It's a false equivalence because he doesn't have an argument. He doesn't have his own arguments.
But look how offended he is, Kristi, in this. Look at those
feels.
Look at those eyes. The deep wells of sorrow and disbelief.
What about Soros?
I said sorrow. How dare you?
Sorrows, but that's where the play on words came from.
But Kristi, I do the puns.
I'm catching
You do the clever, I do the dick jokes and puns. That's the splitting of the labour
unspoken agreement.
Yeah, and it is unspoken until now.
That's our gendered division of labor.
Exactly. Ladies do the clever, men do the dick joke. That's it.
Got it.
Hello, Cologne traffic.
Yeah. What is that? The Vespa?
You say the Vespa like there's one in the city.
Oh, I think I said A. I think I used the indefinite article there.
I don't think you did.
All right, hit play. Let's get through this
these
shit.
are choices that the people have made to commit acts that fall into the category you're choosing with the racists. So when will you denounce the paedophiles? Are you Sainsbury's
When will you denounce the Church of England pedophiles, Carl?
Yeah, or pedophilia in general instead of hiding behind puberty.
Yeah, exactly, Carl. I mean, considering you have actively defended pedophilia, I don't think you've got a leg to stand on this one, mate.
No,
don't think you're really in a position to judge. Just saying.
Yep.
Some muckles.
Market of pedophiles. Like, what are you doing? Why are you choosing one thing? We can stand here and say we're definitely against racism. Yeah, okay.
Because it's Black History Month?
But why do you need
That's
to?
why?
In fact, that's the question, isn't it? Why do you need to do that? Because I'm thinking...
Well, they don't need to do it. There's no compunction on them to have to do it.
Now, Carl's about to make up a total load of shit that has no basis in reality and then treat it as if it were real.
Yeah.
Because that's his whole shtick. So we're going to watch him do it again.
Sainsbury's came out in favour of murder and then act as if they've actually come out in favour of murder or something. Yeah.
Thinking that when I go to a supermarket, I'm walking around and there's just all kinds of people walking around and everyone's just buying their shopping, they're just buying their groceries, and nobody's thinking about racism. Nobody's talking.
How do you know that no one's thinking about racism?
Because he's white, Kevin.
Not that it's relevant, because it literally isn't in any way whatsoever, but how can he possibly know? Does he read all of the minds?
He claims to. He claims to read all of the minds.
He's the brain whisperer. He knows all of the brainness.
Yeah.
Talking about racism. And now I'm thinking, well, if I go into a Sainsbury's, is there noticeable racism? Is it tangible? Is it palpable? Will I see?
What? What the fuck are you talking about? They're not... I mean...
Wow.
God, they're not saying we run a KKK store, we'd like to change that. They're saying there's, like, some racism that maybe we could, do without.
He's literally not making sense at this point.
Yeah.
Palpable?
Yeah, will it be palpable? No, I don't think they'll be burning crosses in the fucking fruit and veg aisle. If that's what you're asking, Carl. I mean, I can't say across the entire country there won't be one store that will be doing that, but generally speaking, it won't be corporate policy that they're going to be fucking lynching people. No, Carl.
Yeah, but if those things don't happen, then racism isn't a problem, and people who aren't white.
Exactly, Kristi. Correct.
Yeah. Yep.
A kind of racial hierarchy operating within the supermarket. Will I see black colleagues being whipped by white colleagues? I mean, what am I looking for?
Carl, you can stop fantasizing.
Oh, God.
You don't have to
God,
put
he's
your
awful.
weird sex fiendness.
He is...
This is dreadful.
This is an insight into his mind.
Yeah, let's try and power through.
When I go in there, why do you feel the need to come out and say, hey, you know what? Sainsbury's is actually against racism? Because, I mean, that was just the default assumption of every one of these supermarkets that I had in my head. I just assumed that, like, Morrison, Asda, Lidl, whatever, like, I assumed that they were all, like, if you were to ask any one of the people there, they would all say, well, yeah, no, I think racism's bad too. Yeah.
But they're not asking just random people there.
Or white people.
Yeah.
You don't know how people are treated by cashier people or other people in the store because you're white. Also, Carl, you don't see it.
Yeah, also, I don't know if Carl's aware of this, but not everyone tells 100% of the truth all of the time. So if you went in there and said, are you racist? And they said, no, but they also had swastika tattoos, I think they might be lying.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't know about you.
I'm not racist. I'm just for my race.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not racist. I just want to repatriate all people of colour.
Yeah. That's
Richard
not
Spencer says he's not racist.
Yeah, anyone can say yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
it's just words.
So, I mean, and again, not that it matters, because going into a supermarket and asking random people is nothing. That's just weird sort of social interaction. That's just creepy and weird. But that's it. That's it.
Also, being 13 minutes into this, other than saying the phrase critical race theory 3 times, this isn't a video about critical race theory.
But if you say it 3 times into a mirror, Karl Marx appears.
He's just mad about the fact that people are embracing diversity. That's really what this comes down to.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm being linked to a thing. Look at this. What am I looking at? Can someone... Oh no, we didn't have it covered, but we briefly mentioned it that Nick Fuentes said he was like Mussolini, said Trump was like Mussolini. To which I was like, yeah, if you want Trump to go down the full Mussolini arc all the way to the end, I'm fucking here for it. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I mean, all I'll say is let's fly to Milan now, get it over with.
You are skirting.
As a non-American, I can say that.
Yeah, because the FBI won't come knocking on your door.
All I'll say is Guantanamo Bay. I've always wanted to go to Cuba, and I think I'd look good in orange. So,
Yeah, you might be rendition.
Exactly. Yeah, the British government aren't going to fucking defend me. Jesus.
Yeah, we don't. No, I don't want to see any racism. I wouldn't tolerate that. I would expect the exact result from every single person working there. And yet, for some reason, Sainsbury's
Yeah, but that's
sweating.
people who work
Institutional
there.
racism exists. Yeah. Even though people say they're against racism, institutional racism still exists, Carl.
I know, crazy. Also, Carl, you know when you go in there and they say, have a nice day, they don't really care. If they're working there, they're just going to say whatever they need to say to get through the fucking day. Like, if they were really, really racist, and you went up to them and say, "Are you racist?" they're not going to go, "Actually, yes, I think the Jewish people are degenerate filth." No, they're just going to say, "No, here at Sainsbury's, we're not racist," and then go home and, I don't know, wank to the thought of black people dying or whatever. Like, I mean, what do you think goes on in the real world, Carl? Do you leave your house? Do you know how people are?
No. He lives in his little far-right bubble.
Yeah, madness. Yeah. I assumed that no one's racist. I mean, that gives it away, really, doesn't it? If you start from the position that no one's racist, then no evidence can prove otherwise, I think.
Right.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to say we're against racism. We're sick of the Nazis who are always in our stores. They're constantly packed with Nazis. Listen, we're far right, Tommy Sport, I don't know what it is. You know, just we're against, like, you sound like you've got a guilty conscience.
Carl, are you aware of a thing called a straw man?
Yeah, exactly.
Because
also
at no
appeal
point
to motive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at no point did they say our stores are full of Nazis.
Nope.
I don't think they said that. I mean, I haven't read all of their corporate literature, but I don't think they said we're full of Nazis. They were saying, look, there are systems in place that keep, people of colour down. And we'd like to not contribute to that anymore. No, it's corporate pablum. I don't actually expect them to do a great deal. But it's ultimately harmless. Doesn't mean anything.
Other than hurting Carl's feelings because of his racist attitude.
That's the only good thing about it. The fact that it annoys Carl is the reason that I want more of this to happen. I mean, it won't actually make the lives of black people any better, but it won't make them worse. So it's just a slightly pointless piece of joy for me that
to watch Carl get this upset.
Annoyed, and Lawrence Fox is annoyed to the point where he calls someone a pedophile and gets sued. But it's okay because he'll be able to pay off that fine with loads of the work he's getting all of the time now.
Yeah, well, I mean, Carl is accused to Sainsbury's of being pro-pedophilia because they haven't explicitly stated they're not, and so he's just going to make that accusation.
I think he'd get away with that because I think he was being just about coy enough. Like, whereas Lawrence Fox was literally saying, "You are a pedophile."
Yeah, he was speaking to an individual.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how broadly or tightly the law is constructed. That's obvious defamation of character. Yeah, I can't believe that in America that fucking Elon Musk got away with that. That's disgusting.
Yeah. All right, we're going to power through.
Like you're really overcompensating here. Why would you need to do this? And what are shops that don't do this? Are they in favor of it? Again, like you, having not denounced paedophilia, you serve paedophiles on a daily basis. You serve them food. Britain's pedos shop at Sainsbury's. Are you going to denounce them?
Put that on a poster.
Yeah.
What a promotion. I mean, it would be, I think, only marginally worse than 12 years a slave.
Yeah, this video on race critical theory is accusing Sainsbury's of serving criminals.
Yeah, which, I mean, to be fair, every supermarket serves criminals because they don't check at the door whether you're a criminal, be it convicted or otherwise.
Ken, this is a fantasy world he's invented just to be outraged about something that doesn't exist.
Exactly. Your faux moral outrage gives me the horn, Carl.
Sainsbury's. You see the kind of rod for you've made for your own back here. But good on Lawrence Fox, who just tweeted out, right, he's, what Sainsbury's is doing, singling out races for special treatment is a form of racism. And I agree. Singling out any
of
race.
course you do, because you're an idiot.
Wait. Are racists a race?
Yes.
No.
You're being racist against the racists because racists are a distinct group of race.
He doesn't understand how words work. Being against racism is bad is being racist because I can't.
When will the pogroms against the racists stop? Is what I want to know. The ethnic cleansing of the racists.
Yeah, we've seen that so many times through history.
Yeah. Also, I wonder if because Carl obviously cares greatly about pedophilia, and so he wouldn't want, say, a failed actor to undermine the seriousness of that by making false accusations of pedophilia. So I imagine Carl is going to have something very strong to say about the accusations that Lawrence Fox has thrown at gay people.
We'll wait.
Or not.
Let's see.
For special treatment is a form of racism. There's no reason that the liberal state can't do these things on an individual basis based on the character of the people. But no, Sainsbury's has got to sit there and single out races. So here we are. This is
Also,
where
the
we've got
liberal
to.
state.
And
You know,
it's getting-
Sainsbury's are not the government.
Nope.
You do know that, Carl.
Nope.
Please tell
Blame
me you
capitalism.
know that.
Yeah, he's not mad at capitalism enough in this video.
Yeah, Carl, as always, Carl is so close to a breakthrough. If he had a brain, he might actually work something out.
Hasn't happened yet.
No.
It gets even better. This is the part where I really have to object Sainsbury's and say, look, I can understand a bunch of racists running a supermarket. I can understand that happens. And actually, I don't care that much as long as I'm just sold the things that I want.
So you're happy to give money to racists?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
Well, that
this-
undermines your entire argument then. Who cares if Sainsbury's are run by Nazis? You're okay with that. They're not going to stop serving you.
Yeah, it doesn't affect him, so he doesn't care because he's white.
So, I mean, that undermines your whole I'm not racist shtick if you're prepared to continue to shop at a store that you think is run by Nazis.
And is racist.
And is
like
racist.
their practices, yeah. As long as they give him what he wants.
As long as they're
That's
not
all he
racist
cares
against
about.
whites, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you start saying stuff like this, like, look, we've been supporting our colleagues. We've relaunched our network that supports ethnically diverse colleagues, as if they're inferior, as if they're disabled or something. You know, what?
What? They're saying
I don't
they're
know,
supporting
again.
people. I mean, that could be a number of things. It's not better like they're disabled. Firstly, Carl, you're saying that disabled people are lesser, which, you know, fuck you. But also, that can be a million and one different things. In a lot of places, a factory I used to work at a while back, they had like Muslim prayer rooms because they need to pray more regularly than, say, like Christians do, or obviously atheists like myself. So things like that. That's like generally there obviously are white Muslims, but a more ethnically diverse set of people being aided by a corporate policy.
Yeah, they're being accommodated.
Yeah.
Because they're employees,
And again,
and just the same way they give Christmas off to everybody, even if they're not Christians.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you'll find
Christians,
they're not just Muslim prayer rooms; they're like prayer rooms in general. But it's
ecumenical kind of.
Christians don't give a fuck. If the Christians want to pray, you can pray anywhere. Whereas Muslims need to, I mean, generally speaking, need to get down on mats and do praying in a certain direction. It was actually weird. The factory was slightly misaligned to east because, I mean, they don't build factories based on direction necessarily. So all of the mats that were lying on the floor were slightly ajar to the wall. And I always remember thinking, what about if you're an OCD Muslim? That's going to piss you off. Because it just doesn't quite align. It's just slightly, oh God, that would drive you mad.
That's insight into Kevin's brain.
Yeah, that's initially where I went. What about if you're an OCD Muslim? They must exist statistically. There are a lot of Muslims.
Of course, yeah.
And that
I
would
just
drive
think,
you mad.
oh.
Having to do like two trips to that room per shift or whatever. That'd drive you up the wall. Then slightly misaligned to the carpets. No! It's alright. Oh, all right. There we go.
The children. I Am Me at Sainsbury's now has over 2,600 members and a very active schedule of events. We run mentoring circles, awareness days, learning sessions, and celebrations. What do they need this? Are they not? Do white
Don't
people
they have
not
free
need
will?
this? But recently, we provided our black colleagues with a safe space to gather in response to the Black Lives Matter movement. So, Black Lives Matter, which is not a movement that is only supported by black people or supported by every black person, but those people, the black people, now get their own segregated spaces.
They didn't say segregated spaces.
No.
They
No.
said a safe space. They didn't say there was any... They didn't even hint at racial segregation there. They said
Nope.
black people had a space that they could go to. It didn't say
Well-
white people weren't allowed to go there. It was just a safe space for black people to talk about things.
And also, when we talk about a safe space, you're talking about not necessarily, like you said, a segregated space, so much as if you want to talk about experiences of racism you've had working here, you're not going to get retribution.
Yeah.
Or you can have colleagues talking about different experiences they've had and how they dealt with it.
Well, and
That's what they're,
And probably what it was like one corner of the dining hall or something like that.
Well, yeah.
They probably didn't set aside like an entire quarter of the store for the 3 black people that were. No, they probably had like, you know, a thing where black people could
a
go.
conversation. Yeah, like a time where people could come and talk about stuff.
Well, maybe they had like an office where one of the management team would go there and they could talk about their issues with them.
Yep,
That
without
would be fine.
retribution.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and again, it's corporate nonsense. Who knows if any of this actually happened? It's just it's Sainsbury's corporate shit. Anyway, but the fact that it annoys Carl again, keep it up. I don't even care if any of it's real. It annoys Carl, so it has to happen.
That I presume has just a sign on the front that says "No whites" on the front. Is that what you have on the door?
Jeez.
Where they can?
No, that's what I have on the outside of my door, which makes it very difficult for me to get in. But I know the security guard is a little ginger lad. He's all right.
Yeah, again, the straw manning. Just the straw manning.
Imagine that. Imagine if they had a no white sign. They should do it for a laugh. They probably would for a laugh. Just put a no whites outside because what white people? Actually, no. There'd be one Karen. There'd be one Karen who wouldn't get the joke, and
Probably.
ring up the fucking Daily Mail. Oh look, they're being anti-white.
Yeah,
Just go and be like, "Oh, thank God, I'm away from the whites." Whew. Stressful, you know. Bad luck for the Asians, I suppose. They get stuck with the whites, but
Yeah.
do you see how this
Bad luck, Asians. Sorry, you have to deal with the whites. Until we successfully genocide them all in Minecraft.
looks fucking disgusting, Sainsbury's? This appears to be a return to a form of segregation. I mean, it's literally,
no, it doesn't.
I can argue the case that segregation is wrong on a moral level because artificially dividing races like this is the
But
very
nobody's
core of
saying
racism.
about segregation.
There is no.
There's nothing in there, as you pointed out, about segregation. Again, he's getting mad at something that doesn't exist in reality, only in his head.
Yeah, full of shit. Although I love the fact they've got Tesco's over there, so that's actually quite a nice joke. There's a nuance to that joke. I like it.
No reason to divide black people from non-black people in Sainsbury's supermarkets.
Which they're
That's not
they're
what
not
he's
doing.
doing.
You haven't shown a single example of that ever happening.
No, you're twisting their words to be outraged about something that's not happening.
Yeah.
So who's the real fool here, Carl? You.
Well, he's listeners. I mean, he's earning money from this. Which so I suppose his listeners are, really, or his viewers, whatever.
Yeah.
This in your head, why you've been thinking about this. What is wrong with you? You have been infected by an intellectual disease that has inverted your morals. So you think now that segregation is right.
God, he's all seriously, he needs medication.
What's he? Has he even defined what he thinks critical race theory is?
No. Never. No.
Does
it's
it
just
say
a
in
boogeyman.
the Institution of Britain through intersectional social justice? Oh my God, word salad.
But it's intersectional.
Racially again. At no point, again, this could be libel. Has caused the creation of and Sainsbury supermarket to create racially segregated spaces. Because at no point did they say that, Carl.
No.
Anything you showed. So you would have, if they sued you for that, which would be fucking hilarious, you'd have to prove they had done that. And you can't, because they haven't.
He's inventing things in order to get white people agitated and then spreading lies. Like a white ring, white supremacist, racist that he is.
Yeah.
And integration is wrong. That's what you're saying. You think there should be special racial privileges for one kind of race. In this case, black people. But I mean, who's to say that won't change? If we're allocating out special racial privileges,
oh God,
why
it's a slippery
in 20
slope.
years' time, when the white nationalists end up taking over, which I'm sure inevitably going to happen if you...
What?
Apparently, when you talk about diversity and you tell employees that, you know what, we're actually taking this seriously and we want to make sure we address racism, that's going to make the white nationalists take over.
White people are so fucking fragile that a black safe space will lead them to electing white nationalists.
But he's okay with racist shops. But he's also not for racism.
Yeah, Carl,
Whatever.
I think he might be full of shit, mate. Call me crazy.
Continue to try and make black people seem more important than the rest, the white majority will probably say, well, hang on a second, don't we deserve something too? And the framework will all be there.
Carl, why wouldn't, if white people were that
What?
offended, why wouldn't they just stop shopping at Sainsbury's? They were invited to do so by Sainsbury's.
Apparently, if white people are so offended, they'll be able to have a cultural event like the event he was complaining about, because literally that's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, not just that, but the only response, the only sensible response in Carl's eyes is, what, Nazi takeover?
Yeah, if white people are offended, then we all have to be, the white supremacists just are going to take over, and Carl will be okay with that.
Yeah, of course
he picked that over liberal democracy.
Yeah, he did. He literally did, yeah, in talking to a Nazi whilst defending the white nationalist murder of Heather.
And giving them tips on how to win.
Yeah, yeah. Lovely guy, lovely guy.
You will have been completely complicit in this. I do not want white nationalists to take over and put racial advantages in for white people, and I don't want black nationalists to take over and put racial advantages in for black people.
How the fuck would black nationalists take over? You already
people
said
having a conversation.
There are 18,000 of them in Wales. I mean, if they manage to take over, they're clearly racially superior because they've overpowered 3 million fucking people with a minibus's worth. You know, come on.
Yes, this dangerous free speech must be stopped, right, Carl?
Yeah, exactly. Ridiculous. What a load of shit.
However, we are in one of those alternate scenarios right now. I want us to leave it.
Are we? Hang on. What? So
really?
So hang on. You think black nationalists are doing this?
No, just like apparently black people being able to talk about their experiences at Sainsbury's is enough to change the paradigm for him.
Wow, I don't know why me and George Soros have been trying so hard. We just need to give black people some rights. Wow. Okay.
Let's go back to being individualistic liberals for the love of God. Anyway, folks, if you'd like to support the channel...
Fuck off.
Individualistic liberals as if what? Structures don't exist? Society? There is no such thing as society?
Everything's just an individual problem, Kristi.
Right.
Everything.
They're just atoms. Yeah, there are no institutions like
the people
the Anglican
called
Church.
Adam are, yeah.
What?
Adams. You said Adams because you're American.
Oh, okay.
Instead of atoms.
Right, with a hard T.
Yeah.
Yes. We tend to swallow our consonants.
Well, thank you for finishing that sentence.
Oh, wow. It's kind of like taking a bath in idiocy, listening to Carl.
It is. Yeah, only you come out feeling far less clean than a bath.
It's like, because when he talks...
Like skinny dipping in a septic tank.
Yeah, it's just like when he talks, you have to try to make sense of what he's saying.
Yeah. And
then when you do, you get this insight into a world of an ignoramus.
Yeah, like listening to a Donald Trump speech, yeah.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with reality. It's all about them and their perceptions and their feelings and the fact that they are uncomfortable with anything that doesn't sort of like protect their white privilege bubble. Even other people who he doesn't even fucking know, having a conversation gets him so upset that he has to like go, oh, well, I guess the white nationalists are going to want to come in now and take over. And, I don't want that. So, black people, you better not talk about this stuff. Otherwise, we're going to have really bad racism. Now you only have slightly bad racism.
Yeah. There's an implicit threat involved there, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Always. Yeah. If you talk and complain you want a better life, you're the problem. Not the institutional racism or the microaggressions or the outright racist insults that people experience just walking down the street, going through their lives. No. That's not the problem. The problem is Carl's feelings.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all feels before reals, which is ironic.
Completely.
Because he made his thing about it's reals before feels. He's full of shit, basically. Anyway, are we done?
Oh God, I hope so. Yeah.
Oh well, thank you. I enjoy our show, but clearly this is stressing you out.
No, no, you're quite pleasant, but just it's been a while since I've visited Sargon land, and this video it's pretty borderline, I have to say, with YouTube's stuff, I think, but. I'm just going to do a condensed version of Carl's understanding of race critical theory, and it's going to be like a 1-minute video of him ranting about Sainsbury's and all the other ridiculous things he said.
Yeah. Basically.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, you do that. Is that what you got coming up on your channel, Kristi?
No, what I got coming up on my channel is D&D with R&D over on my D&D, Gaming with Kristi channel. And we're about to go into a big battle in the Underdark.
I just, again, I want to distance myself from this. This is absolutely disgraceful activity. Okay, yeah, but go and check that out, and you might see me typing penis in there.
Yes, you might come visit and do that.
Indeed.
I appreciate your patronage.
Indeed. Yeah, and tomorrow, in terms of my thing tomorrow, I won't be on at 7, which is my usual slot, because I'm going to be doing a live watch along and analysis of the presidential or vice presidential debate. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you can tell how much Mike Pence is loved by the Trump team, that he's never around him enough to have actually gotten COVID.
Well,
he's so out of the
amazing?
loop that he hasn't even got COVID.
I take it you saw what Jamie Harrison did during his debate with Lindsey Graham. With
oh yeah,
the thing
absolutely
that he brought.
Bitch slapped him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, also he brought a plexiglass divider. And he put it up sort of closer to him, but it basically shielded him from Lindsay's breath.
He should have brought a bell for him and said, "Can you shake this saying unclean, unclean for me?"
Kamala Harris is going to do the same thing with Mike Pence. She wants a plexiglass divider. And Mike Pence was basically like the campaign put out a thing like, oh, this is ridiculous. She wants to put herself in a fortress. But the actual COVID recommendations talk about a plexiglass. She's following his government's, the Trump's administration's guidelines from the CDC better than he is. And he's the fucking leader of the task force for COVID.
But as a young Earth creationist, does he even believe that germs are real?
I don't know.
Who knows? Is the Earth round? I don't know.
She is going to just smack him around.
That's she's a competent human being, and he's just... I mean, the thing that annoys me most about Mike Pence... I mean, obviously the thing I despise is his homophobia and all of that. But the thing that annoys me most is, if you're going to be a religious fundamentalist, you can't be boring. Bring some fire and brimstone to this motherfucker. Like what? You shouldn't. If you've got an apocalyptic worldview about God raining down upon the enemies of the unrighteous and all that shit, right? Give me something. Don't be like, well, actually, I think the gays are immoral. Like, oh, you boring fuck. Jesus.
Yeah, you're evil and boring.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I reckon Stalin could drink you under the table. Do you know what I mean? Evil and interesting, and awesome moustache. So.
Talking about evil and interesting, do you want to talk a little bit preview on International Gorillas, maybe Thursday or Friday of this week?
Oh my God. Spoiler alert, but the end scene is Salman Rushdie being set on fire by flying Korans. Drink that sentence in. Let that sentence wash over you for just a second.
Kevin's got some amazing quips or
my
lines.
notes. I put little bullet point notes to remind me of the scenes and stuff, and some of them are amazing. Although it's now downstairs because I've moved from my living room up to my spare bedroom / office now because I've got the wire and all of that, and I've actually got a fucking desk with a slidey thing for the keyboard and all of that. So I don't have it on me at the moment, but some of them are amazing.
At one point, I doubled over in laughter, and I just felt the tears hit my arm.
It's amazing. It's amazing. What all films need is a 10-minute disco freakout song about how nice someone's eyes are.
I did tell them there were like 9-minute dance numbers.
Oh God, it's insufferable. It's Islamist propaganda meets I don't even know psychedelic music thing and I don't even know. Jesus converts to Islam.
Basically.
And not just that, Jesus and Jesus' slutty sister with nice eyes convert to Islam before Salman Rushdie is incinerated by flying Korans. How do you do a review of that story?
We actually thought about does this need its own list? Like, can International Gorillas actually even be ranked somewhere?
Oh no, it's worse than. I mean, Freddy Got Fingered is atrocious.
Oh,
but at least it's not. At least it's not Islamist propaganda and atrocious. I guess, you know.
But it's basically like Islamist A-Team.
I
in
would
some
have
ways.
made that film so much better if you'd have had Jesus going, Salmon, would you like some sausage? Salmon, would you like some sausages? And then fucking Salman Rushdie kicks the shit out of his piano.
Except they wouldn't, because that's not. They wouldn't eat pork.
Oh, you can have vegan sausages or vegetarian sausages.
That's true.
Sausage is just the shape, really, isn't it?
Maybe not in the sort of late 80s, or when was the Satanic Verses anyway? Was that the early 90s or the late 80s?
Let's have a look. Satanic Versailles.
But it was made shortly thereafter.
Has anyone even read this fucking book? 1988.
Oh, all right, okay. It has a very 1980s look to it.
Oh,
there's a lot of.
Yes. Is Salman Rushdie? He's still alive, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. How old is he? Well, I need to go onto Salman Rushdie's page. He's 73. Yep. Good lord. Wow.
Gosh, he's a year younger than Trump.
Indeed. He was born. Fucking hell. He's so old. He was born in British India. That's genuine. He was born in Bombay. Bombay. It's not even called that anymore. It's Mumbai.
Mm-mm.
There we go.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway, so that's a little bit of knowledge about. So we've learned when the prom started, when fucking Queen Victoria's Indian manservant, that's a strange sentence, happened, and now Salman Rushdie's old. So,
yeah, it's an educational program. You learn more from us than on Carl's
Exactly. It's never too late to learn.
No. It's it's an educational program, the happy hour. I mean, what kind of education you get, I would hate to.
It's educational in the way that homeschooling is educational. Do you know what I mean?
Fair.
We're not talking like Ivy League shit here. We're talking like
no.
Mama creationist homeschooling nonsense. Anyway.
On that creationist bombshell.
On that young Earth bombshell. I'm gonna fuck off, and I'll see you. I don't know what time I'll be on. Technically, it won't be Wednesday here. It'll be after midnight, won't it? But so I don't know exactly what time I will be on tomorrow. But it'll be very late UK time to do the thingamajig. I'll tweet out about it, all that shit. Go and follow the links and all that shit. Subscribe to Kristi. Her links are below. And go and
maybe depending on the time, I could dip in and join you for a bit.
Yeah. If I mean, it's going to be very late your time. But you're not at work, are you? So.
Well, my work hours are basically like when I'm not sleeping. So.
Okay. But you don't have to be up at any time to go to a place.
Not on Thursday.
No.
No. I work from home, which is
exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, you're not at work as such. I'm not saying you
I don't have to go
work.
to an office.
I'm saying you don't have to go.
I'm doing lots of work.
Be there
at my
8
kitchen table
sharp or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so
my kitchen table, my dining room table.
Yes.
Anyway, not important.
Kristi, everything you do is important to me.
Now I'm just letting my mouth move and seeing what words come out. It feels a lot like being Carl, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, on Twitch, I'm going to kick you over to the Surfs, because they're always the only ones that are on.
This time of night.
Indeed. And thank you all for listening and watching. Goodbye from me, and goodbye from Kristi. Say goodbye, Kristi.
Take it back, Kristi.
She did a bit.
Did.